Hey, what's up, everybody? We back at it again. Even though we took a week off, but welcome to Reckless Reviews with your boy M3 and the Sophisticated Jerk. You want to excuse my allergies, man. It's been on an all-time high as usual.
Oh,
How you doing,
okay. Yeah,
Sophisticated
yeah.
Jerk?
My allergies be killing me too, man. So feel your pain, your struggle. But I see you got the dark shades on, man. Usually when you put those on, man, you about to go in.
Hey, I'm ready, man. And just in case if you're like trying, put me on timeout, YouTube. Hey, I got my background ready, so I'm
So
ready
you
for
trying
that
to get
timeout.
canceled, huh? That's
Exactly,
the
man.
I'm about to get canceled outfit.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So, and I got the new shades on too, given by, a folk in Oakland. But hey, shout out to our
Okay,
brother.
okay.
So yeah, I'm ready, man. And we do have a guest that I just invited and she is ready to go. But before I bring her up there, I gotta give a salute to like Lola. So thank you for tuning in,
What's good,
Lola.
Lola?
Hopefully, maybe later you could probably jump up on this too, because I think you'll love this topic. But let's go ahead. We're gonna bring Miss Deja up in here real quick. We're gonna put her in the middle. So uh Deja, salutes to you.
What's up, Deja? Shout out to Deja too. We woke her ass up. She a
Exactly.
trooper. She was
Can
like,
you
all
see
right.
it?
Yeah,
She's over there
she
getting
was
a power nap. But we was like,
I
look.
sure did. It was great too. I had a great dream.
Well, okay. What was it? What was you dreaming about?
I don't remember.
I'll put the caption in for you, right? What she was dreaming about M3 giving her that phone call, giving her that invitation so she could join Reckless Reviews on Knowledge Relations on YouTube and be very reckless with this topic. So she don't even know to the degree of what we're going to be talking about, but she just came ready. She took her
Yeah,
bottle off.
she's like, look,
I
I'm
did. I took my bonnet off. I redid my rap real quick.
That's what I'm talking about. That's an all-star right there. So fellas, man,
We here.
that's the definition of a good woman right here, right? One who's ready to
You
go.
don't even know.
all right. Let's not go too. No, I'm joking. We'll give you good today. She's
That's
definitely
funny. Okay, we here though. We here.
good. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, thank you for being here. All right, so so today's topic, man, we're gonna be talking about Stephen A. Smith and Ebony K. Williams. All right, so they're pretty much having a breakdown on modern day love, okay? And they have a few disagreements, but courtesy of MTR, because we will be reacting to his video of it and we'll be getting his synopsis. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna just jump into the video and we're gonna definitely react to it. Hold on, let me make sure I mute that. There we go. All right. If anything and all else, hey, fair use, everyone. Fair use. Okay. And make sure you guys subscribe to MTR's channel as well. So mediocre tutorials and reviews. All right, let's go. Here we go.
I understand the female audience to all of this shit. They're gonna give you a lot of your donations. But the more that we lie to these women, the less married that they will be. I will maintain this shit. It's not always the guy's fault and not being able to get up to her expectations. Oh, they're fans. What the fuck is this shit? Steven, stop the bullshit. Because here's the thing, Steven. You really know. You respected Kevin. You understood his message. But you get on public platforms and you're lying.
And I said, if you're a man out there and you want to be happy, you want a strong 7. The 10, no, she's a 10. It's too much drama. Okay, the 9 thinks she's a 10. That's too much drama.
Too much.
The 8 already knows that she's probably a 9. So even though it's not as much drama, it's still gonna cause you some issues. But the 7, the strong 7, knows that she's beautiful enough, she's smart enough, she brings enough to the table. But in the same breath, her ego is not out of control to the point where it will force your ego to infiltrate the proceedings and nothing gets accomplished.
In other words, the more beautiful that she is, or rather the more beautiful that she's been told that she is, the less accountable she has been held. Also, she's got way more ego and therefore is way less humble. The less that she's had to actually work for what it is that what she's had due to the halo effect, as well as just simps just giving her money simply for existing. Being an attractive woman means that you live life on easy mode. I mean, shit, it's like decreasing the life difficulty setting from Elden Ring down to Animal Crossing. But also the more damage to your pockets to keep up with this aesthetic that has fed her ego for years. That's why there's a multi-billion-dollar anti-aging industry. Maybe it shouldn't be called anti-aging. Maybe it's called the anti-ego decline industry. But Steven ain't lying. Let's go.
That was...
All right, let's
Go
go.
ahead, pause it right there. Oh, I was about to say.
But yeah, okay. What do you guys think about the breakdown as far as like the ego? Because Stephen A. Smith is strongly suggesting for men to focus more on a strong, suitable 7. Okay? Now here's the thing. You have the 7s, the 8s, 9s, and 10s. Okay, the top 3 is the 8s, 9s, and 10s. That's supposed to be labeled as the most beautiful women. Okay? But everything's subjective upon the eyes of, you know, the person who's looking at these women themselves. And usually when you are viewing a woman as a man, viewing a woman as an 8, 9, and 10, you are going to act a little differently. You're going to operate, you know, differently accordingly to the woman that you kind of judge as a person who is suitable to your needs. And Lola's asking, what is a 7? Yes, it seems subjective. I'm breaking it down, but we're gonna get to that. What do you guys think about what he's saying about the 7? You know, ladies first. Go ahead, Deja.
Yeah, go ahead, Deja.
Again, I don't think it's about. Okay, so here's what I'll say, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be hella honest. I'm not the most beautiful girl in the world, right? I do consider myself a good, like. And I will admit there are privileges. I will admit that. I'm not discrediting that. There have been many men who asked me. There has been a man who's asked me to be like sugar baby. There's men who like want to. Obviously, you get free drinks wherever you go. You can get into the club for free. You get into the sections for free and all that stuff. But when it comes to dating, that doesn't matter whether you're a 7 or not. It's character. I could be the most beautiful 10, but I can also still have some. You know, I could still be a church girl and have some sense about me. I don't think that as you get prettier, you get more demanding. I think it's literally who are you dealing with? Because who are you dealing with? Are they more materialistic? I know some 10s who are just not as materialistic, you know? So it really just depends on who you're dealing with. And then the whole what'd he say? Men lying? What'd he say about that?
Say that last part. Men lying about what?
What did he say about men lying or people lying? What did he say about that?
Well, he has. Okay. So that was kind of like the preview. We haven't got to that part yet.
Oh,
but we're gonna be touching up on that soon.
But yeah, overall, I think it's just the person. I can admit pretty privilege exists, but I also think it's more so the person in themselves. But you know, I always feel that way because apparently I'm an anomaly.
You sure the hell are.
Yeah.
Like these nails painted at home. Yup, sure were.
Well, so my breakdown on that, there's a little bit of truth in there. And I think Daisha she was spot on. Like it does end up boiling down to personality. And I think what you're willing to tolerate. But see, a lot of this stuff, the issue is, I would have to say, like, there are chicks that are difficult to deal with. They understand they're pretty and stuff. So they're kind of a pain in the ass in some degrees. But that's not to say like all pretty women operate like that. Because like what Daisha said, there's females that have that understanding where it's just like, you know what, they're nice in the inside, they got humor and stuff. But what tends to happen is like I think a lot of guys, man, they end up living in their head, so they come, I'll say like leading with the money, where they're like, okay, she's pretty. Since all these other guys do A, B, C, D, you know, I got to do the same thing. And, you know, subconsciously they're doing all the like tricking stuff like, oh man, I got to give her this and this. And they burn themselves out, where it's just like, hey, you got control over your money and your resources and how you're being treated. So, you know, it's just like, man, you don't sit there and let somebody like run all over you. But I like what Lola was asking, you know, as far as like the number metric, you know, it's all fun, but a lot of it is subjective. Because me personally, I think 6 through 10, that's pretty territory. So it's like all of it's subjective. So it's just like what you should do is go for somebody who you feel is like attractive to you, and then, you know, you narrow it down to the personality, the characteristics, like what Daisha was saying, like somebody that's reciprocal to you. But yeah, most of the time, guys live in their head and they feel like they got to do this stuff to keep up with like what maybe other dudes did in the past, and that's where the issue is. They burn themselves out. So I'll drop it right.
Can I be honest about something though? This is
Wait, but
this is gonna be. Oh, go ahead.
But I do have a fun pushback, right? Although I do agree with everything you guys are saying, and it is subjective, right? And also, Lola, by the way, the guy who's saying that you're a 4, you know, he might be on the other side of the team, okay?
He don't even know he doesn't know what that looks like. He's probably
of course. He never even been well. Yeah,
nah, he wanted Lola, so he wanted to like pretty much throw a shot at her, but he deep down he liked her because that's ridiculous.
Right, or maybe he probably say that she's 4, and then with the commas, and then like 11. Maybe that's what he was trying to say, that she's 4'11", like Mr. Best said, right? But she probably just took it the wrong way. You know how you know people take it, but no, my fun pushback is this. Now here's the thing. I know we're talking about subjective, and we know that's the reality of it. But then it's like, what if the majority, right? What if it becomes slightly objective? But the majority are just like, damn, like that woman you're with, right? She just butt ugly, right? Like I wouldn't even touch her, like, you know, with a tooth and the nails, right? So we have the majority of people. Now here's the thing, guys, we don't really care about men's opinion. But I know, like, you know, women usually care about the opinion of other women. So if that was kind of like the other way around, let's just say Deja went with like you know the guy that will say like gotcha or whatever with the messed up snaggletooth teeth or whatever. And of course, objectively, that guy's horribly ugly, right? But for Deja, maybe he's attractive. But if you have the majority of people, right, are telling you, yo, you dating like this ugly type of dude, how does that affect like your perception of it? Salute, Mr. Best.
No, I agree with you in that case, M3, because we know like if somebody's busted, you know, somebody might like them, but they busted in majority of people's eyes. So we know that. What I was saying as far as like where it gets subjective.
Yeah.
Say like, okay, let me give you an example. Samla Hayek in her heyday, Kelly Rowland, Terrell Hicks, they're all pretty women. So they'll probably like be in a range of like 8, 9s, and 10s. But in somebody's eyes, somebody might be like, okay, Samla Hayek is a 10. Somebody might be like, Kelly Rowland's a 10. Somebody might be like, she's an 8. You know, so that's where it gets subjective. But they're all beautiful women. But ugly. I don't think there's a metric on that. We just all know like, hey, that person's kind of busted. So they
like we can all agree to disagree.
But I say like when you get in that tier, like the top, like I said, it might come down to like certain factors. You might, you know, whatever your preference is, that's where you'll push those, like I said, people that fall in that top tier pretty category. That's where it become like more or less subjective. But you could still be like, hey, that's a pretty woman at the end of the day.
Yeah. Mr. Best, what's up, man? Like, what's your perspective on this? I know we just getting in early, so we haven't covered the full video yet.
I like what I like.
Okay, case closed, right?
That was like the best, simplest answer, man. I'm like, damn, okay.
I like that, straight to the point, man. No, like long speech.
Yeah, that's efficiency right there. 84 is efficient as hell.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever feel like someone is quote unquote out of your league?
Hell nah.
Okay.
As a young man, yes. As a young man, yes. Because I didn't develop my character, and I had a lot of insecurities and things I had to work through. So as a teenager, young man, yes. But once I developed who I was, understood who I was, nah, it's all about energy now. So I don't feel like nobody's out of my league, except for Janet Jackson because she walks on water. That's about it.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm gonna be honest with you. There are times when I feel like people are out of my league. And a lot of times I get intimidated because I'm like, okay, if you're like I don't know how to describe it, but sometimes I'll just be like, either A, you have too much access and I don't feel like fighting over you. B, I feel like almost what he said, sometimes when you have too much attractiveness, I feel like there might be an ego there. That's my initial reaction. Now, granted, I have talked to men who originally I thought were out of my league, and then they just turned out to be assholes, and then I didn't care. But I'm talking initial looking at them. I'm like, might not be able to grab that one. And it could be, yeah, that's honest. So I've always wondered that if anybody else felt that.
I'll just say this, like, of course, like, as a young person, well, you're not really developed, because here's the thing, I didn't start off like understanding women. You know what I mean? I was in a journey to learn about women, but I still didn't fully understand them. And to be quite frankly, to be honest with you, I don't think I would ever understand them fully. But I was far off back then. So things that I don't really take seriously now, I would have. So I would have been insecure because this woman is like up here while I'm down here. And it wasn't even about career-wise, but it was more of like, if you're in a better position, like in a better spot,
exactly,
and I'm still trying to work as a man,
right?
I don't want to be the man to drag you down,
right?
Now, however, right?
That's how I felt until I actually like got to know him. Then I was like, oh, fuck you.
But also too, to add on to it, right? There are egos that also like come involved into that, right? So I'm looking more of like, am I compatible with you personally? Okay. Mm-hmm. And if a certain type of career makes you feel like you're high or mighty and it's not matching with my energy, then I know that you're not really for me. Because here's the thing. When I was like a bum, some cases, didn't have no job, still going to school. I mean, there was women that had great careers, good jobs and all that, and they still would talk to me. So it didn't really matter about like who I was and, and what, plus I was in a different era. So maybe things was a little different as is like right now. Mm-hmm. I just had the confidence to still talk to them if they allowed me to talk to them. You know what I mean? So, and if they didn't want me to talk to them, then fine. I just keep it moving and I find another option of a woman to talk to. So,
yeah, I think I would, y'all, because what y'all said makes sense. Y'all I think y'all took a deeper like assessment of everything. Y'all had awareness. I was just like greedy. I was like, look, I don't give a damn if I'm broke. I'll mess your credit up. I'ma holler at you.
Hey, now that's true confidence right there.
Funny.
Yeah, I was like, look, I'm at the bottom. Pull me up, goddamn it! I'll meet you at the finish line.
I'll be like, that's a my ego thing. That's a my ego thing. Like I'll be like, damn, like for instance, there was a point. I actually, and this could be an experience actually. I was at a point. I dated this one guy, and he had his master's. I didn't have my master's yet. He had owned his own house. I had just moved here to Kansas City, so I was just renting an apartment. And he had something else that he kept talking about, and which was great for him, great. But he asked me, "What can you bring to the table?" And literally, first off, my initial reaction was to slap the shit out of him. But then, like, bitch, what? But I stopped, and then my I guess you could call it my insecurity came out, and I was like, well, damn, I don't got a house, I don't got a master's, I don't got none of that. And it actually pushed me. Well, that's not the only reason why I went to go get that shit, but like it actually pushed me to get these things. But at first I felt like, damn, what do I bring to the table if that's what you have? But yeah, I that's what it felt like. I felt like you're so established, I'm intimidated almost.
Yeah, facts, Gray Pill. I'm like, put me on that joint. But I like what Daisha was saying, because that's the funny thing, because that's the flip side where guys, we go to that rejection process, early. So it's just like, I think through our rejection process, it does force us to a certain degree to like, move up in the world. We're ambitious and stuff because of all those rejections, and that's how we build ourselves up. So like, it's just I guess it's pretty cool to hear it from like a female's perspective. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like, you use that to like motivate you to go do other things, not specifically for that guy, but you're like, shit, you know what? Let me make sure I got my stuff together in case somebody asks me like what I bring to the table. I'll bring a whole lot. Because when I was younger and I was broke, I didn't bring shit to the table.
I actually
but appetite.
I actually got a question. So my question, family, would be, so it's what M3 said before we continue the video.
Mm-hmm.
Is it more of us knowing about ourselves or knowing about the opposite gender, right? So to get past those insecurities, is it more us just kind of building ourselves up and knowing who we are, or is it just knowing about them as well, or is it kind of a combination of both?
I would say like a combination of both, because, well, here's the thing, best. I would advise that first you want to know about yourself. You want to know about the things that make you feel upset, the things that maybe make you feel a certain type of way, what things that make you feel happy and confident as a man. And if certain things or accolades make you feel secure, like in your manhood, or just you being secure as a individual, as a human being, then I feel like you should tackle on to try to understand, but to build the relationships. And here's the thing. I don't want people to think like you should just build a relationship just to try to get with someone, but I think you should try to learn how to build a relationship, because the fundamental key is learning how to be a better person and learning how to understand people, so that in that way they can help you as you're helping them.
84, can you repeat that question again? Because it was definitely a great question.
So to get over the insecurity of like feeling like you're not on somebody's level, right? Is it more about you knowing yourself, or is it more about you knowing the opposite gender, or is it a combination of both?
Damn, okay, great question, man.
Like having that confidence to talk to women, right? Is it more about you knowing about yourself, or knowing about them, or maybe a combination of both?
Damn. I think it's honestly knowing the opposite. I'll say the opposite sex, because like what you're pointing out, I think sometimes it's not the fact that like you fear talking to somebody else, but I think like as men, say like you see a super pretty chick, you knew like a lot of guys already threw a lot of paper at them. They were able to provide something that you couldn't provide. So it's almost like you kind of understand your limitations at that point. And you're like, hey, it's not that I'm like scared to holler at her. We might be able to get in a relationship, but I understand that eventually she's going to yearn for more, because, just where she kind of already experienced and stuff. So it's almost like you're setting yourself up for failure to a certain degree if you like get with that person. So yeah, that's why I would say it's more or less, I say, understanding the other gender to a certain degree.
I don't know about that.
Damn, I got something to say to what he said, but I'm gonna let Deja answer the question. Go ahead, Deja.
Because like when we focus, and I'm saying this as I said the other thing, so I'm also talking to myself. I feel like if we are focused on what the other person wants from us, I don't think we'll ever get to our right person, because we're not being as authentic to ourselves. And so in your example, matter of fact, my brain went left, and so I don't remember your example, even though I just had it. But the end of the day, like women or all of us, I feel like we make assumptions first before we give ourselves the chance. And I'm talking to myself too, based on what I just said on my own intimidation. we make assumptions first. So I heard you assuming that she wouldn't want this, she wouldn't want that. But she could be like me, quote unquote, who materialistic things don't bother me. Matter of fact, materialistic things make me feel uncomfortable. So, to a certain degree. Or she could be one of those women who really like wants to be like we just don't know what kind of woman and what kind of person they are. And I feel like we limit ourselves because of that. Because who knows? Unless they physically tell you, like that asshole. Jesus. And I've told him he was an asshole for that too. I just want to make sure that's clear. He knows. So, unless they physically tell you that shit, I think we really have to stop assuming that we know what the opposite gender wants, because all that stuff to me is stereotypes, and it's just kind of like saying, what do all black people want? You feel me? So it's almost like, well, how about we just get to know the person, like adjust to the person instead of assuming. But that's my thought. I don't know if that made sense.
No, it makes sense, but I think you're looking at it from a female perspective, which is fine. But I think from a guy's perspective, like we're the ones that typically have to pay for dates and all that stuff. So that's why I'm saying it's not to say like people are bad, but if we're being honest, there's just a certain level of like I'll say money we got to put into that process, just the way that stuff balances it out. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why like guys have to look at it from that different angle. So like if you see a female that's like kind of been catered to by like different men, sometimes that's their expectation for like every guy coming across that board. So I get what you're saying. You could go up and like get to know that person, but sometimes it's efficient to apply assumptions to people when you could see it from the surface level. Like, oh, okay, damn, I knew a lot of people that like, used to date, whoever, and she was kind of going to these like different establishments. That sometimes becomes the expectation and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where a lot of people, where you start learning like the opposite gender to a certain degree, it applies to the masses. Like you do have people, like you said, that's not materialistic and stuff. Wow. So I agree with you to a certain degree. You do got to get to know people, but I think applying assumptions, typically you'll be in a good spot.
So sophisticated bro for women. Sorry, Deja, my bad. I just wanted to kind of like say something real quick.
Oh my God. This indigenous black man is killing me. I feel like he just likes to argue.
No. That's just a part of him. Like he's just all fun though.
Oh, he goes in on everybody. He's equal opportunity trolling. That's the homie though.
Yeah.
Let me say this. So sophisticated bro. What I was gonna ask you is that for those women who, right, they get used to a certain lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Are they now missing out on certain men? Right?
Yes.
Because
absolutely.
they're so focused on that money, right? And it could be a guy too, like as a guy, right? Let's say you're an athlete or whatever. You're so used to being around, or you're so used to having your way with women, that now, like, you ain't, like, your mindset is like, yo, I could just get with any chick I want. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of maybe warps that person's mind, and they kind of miss out on quality people. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Indigenous black man wanted to ask me, because he said, ask her, why do women feel like they can speak in general on what other women want? I didn't say that, so you need to listen. I said some women, I'm not speaking on everybody, I'm just saying some women aren't like that. And I know, because I know damn well there's not more than one person like me. So I'm not thinking I can speak for all women. I'm speaking in opinion coming from a woman. So
Daisha, I mean, we could speak in generals, because most of the time people do general shit.
Yeah,
I feel it, but he's making it seem like why do I feel like I can talk on behalf of all women? I'm not talking on behalf of all women. I'm talking from a
No. That's not where he's coming from. Like he's always talking about like in the general like perspective. So it's not like any personal towards like the panel. He's going to say something random, but it's always going to be like in a general state. So if you mention something, like you don't have to answer every question. Like he just.
But
can
I get back to the point that 84 was making? Because I think that was definitely a great point.
Still right.
Yeah, 84. Going back to what you were saying. Yeah, that's the thing that messes people up. Because like you said, it's like once they kind of, I said, hit that tier and that becomes their like new expectation. Man, they immediate block off like a large portion of like, I'll say good people that has those actual qualities and characteristics. So that's the tricky part when, like you said, I like how you use both sides of the spectrum. Like, you know, you have the pretty girl that might have the expectations, and you also have like you said, the ball players and stuff. And they just, everybody else is blind to them. So they're just trapped into that small pool of people based on, you know, like superficial or materialistic things. And that's, you know, why they always have those, like, when we be looking in the news and stuff, we see those like terrible breakups. And so I agree with you on that. I think that was a dope point you made.
Right.
Exactly, bro. Like, and that's, I think that's something that happens. But I think also I never want my sisters or my brothers to fall into the trap. You know what I'm saying? Where they just kind of thinking that they have to be a certain way, or that somebody has to make a certain amount. Oh, hey,
my bad. Let's go.
No, it's cool. Lady E in the building. That
What's up, Lady E?
you know, a man or a woman has to, you know, a woman thinking like, oh, this guy got to make this certain amount in order to be with me. And it's like, well, technically, no. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe he may lose that career, or even, let's say maybe something may happen to you, right? Let's say that you may not look the same way, or you may end up in a car accident or whatever, and now your physical looks may go down. Do you want the man to just leave you at that point? No. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, like, you know what I mean? I think that like we just have to have realistic views on relationships. You know what I'm saying? And just understanding what's important and what's not important. We gotta get away from just focusing on these superficial things that we can't really build anything with. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be honest. And that's when I was making that point.
Real quick before I get to the rest of the guys, I gotta give a salute to the homie Steel Rider. So thank you, my older brother, for tuning in. Yo, you funny, bro. He said like Stephen A. Smith or whatever for writing for character. He's like another Wade Brady though. But we're gonna get to that. Man, we got like the lovely Lady E in the building. We haven't seen her in a minute, so salutes to her. And you know, we got
Lady E,
to
what's up?
What's up, Lady E? Where you been?
Senior Marcus as well too. Salute.
Junior Marcus.
What's up? How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
It's good, Marcus.
Before I play the video, I just want to know how you guys are doing. So, Lady E, how are you doing, sis?
You want me, Lady?
Well, the birds are chirping, so that's a positive vibe, right?
I'm sorry. I said I actually have
The birds are chirping.
doing pretty great. I've been on my little hiatus, but you know, I've been eavesdropping on some of the comment section. But I said, we got a good panel up there. I said, let me pass by and say hello and see how everyone's doing.
Lady E, since you've been like, lightweight stalking, right? Have you been giving a like up, please?
Wait, what? Say that again?
I said, since you've been eavesdropping, have you been giving the likes up?
I have been giving the likes up. I've given the likes up. I've done a little trolling. Mr. Best in the world will tell you I've been doing some trolling, but for the most part, I've been giving my likes and kind of eavesdropping and rolling on out.
Okay. Well, look, just make sure you guys get the likes up as well, too, though. You know what I mean? It also helps a lot. But we appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching us. And we definitely miss you come up here, too. So.
Oh, y'all will definitely see me in the future. The school year is almost over.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
And then, Marcus, how you doing, Senior
Good.
Marcus.
Good, counselor. I was looking at the thumbnail because I just saw this clip this morning of Stephen A. Smith answering that. I don't know if it's like the full segment, but just the clip of it where he was answering his whole like rating scale and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's what you guys are talking about or talking about MTR's reaction.
Oh, we're just talking about the whole thing all together. So yeah,
we haven't even got in touch like with the video yet. We just play like the introduction of it, but we're gonna get started on the video so you can guys get a better clear view of it.
And also, I have been hitting the like button, all right? So don't worry. I already hit the like button. I already shared.
Hey, appreciate it, Marcus. You know. All right.
You gonna pull that video back up?
Yeah, definitely for sure. All right. Fair use as always. Deja, I'm gonna just mute you real quick because I think I'm hearing some wind from you. All right. Let's go ahead and play it.
My argument for strong 7. Ebony K. Williams, was I correct in my assessment?
Where is it? I vehemently agree with the strong 7 argument. Now,
look at the big word.
I vehemently agree that the strong 7 is best positioned. I'll go further. She's best positioned, Stephen A. To partner with the I don't want to say average. People get mad when I say average or mediocre. You know, they get real mad. She's best positioned to partner with the majority of available.
I wonder what she rates herself.
Majority of available men, and it's for all the reasons you said. And I actually identified this in my early 20s, like coming out of law school, and I realized that some of the things that myself and my female counterparts were priding ourselves on, being really, really well educated, being very well accomplished, being pretty, but like pretty in a way that society deems is particularly valuable, because we know there's actual pretty and then there's kind of marketability, if you will, the kind of objective standard.
Yeah.
And those things really just did not translate.
Not a lot of relationship values.
And imagine how complex.
R.I.P. to Kevin Samuels.
Some of us were. But I said to my girlfriends long ago, I said, y'all, all of this 9s and 10s, we might be in that space, even 8s. It's not going to serve us the competitive advantage when it relates to our sisters, who I'm even going to say 6 and 7s. Why?
Notice what she said right there. So she considers herself as well as her homegirls 8, 9s, and 10s, not only because what she aesthetically looks like, but then also because she followed this boss bee pursuit of happiness. But guess what? Feminism lied to you. You bit from the forbidden fruit, hook, line, and stinker. Become a sexually liberated boss bee, they said. Work like a man, they said. And it'll lead to an amazing life full of happiness, community, and marriage. They lied to you. They're beginning to realize that turning themselves into a man makes them less likely for the outcome that they wanted.
Because you got to really look at what the market, and we're talking about, and this is through a hetero lens, of course, this is what men want. What do men really want, Stephen? I'm going to say some things that I want you to confirm or deny.
I'll do that for you. I
really invite that.
I'm ready.
I think men want to be affirmed. I think men want energy that is agreeable. I think
what the fuck is energy? Women that are agreeable. Hello.
Men want, generally speaking.
Yes.
This is all general.
Generally speaking.
I think men want women who are available. And what I mean by that is their schedules, their literal schedules. When I pull out my phone and you pull out yours, it's not 3 weeks.
Oh, we're not taking it. This ain't Boomerang with Eddie Murphy. You're not putting us on the waiting list. We don't need you. We don't need you. Oh, it ain't happening. No. Yeah.
I would say men generally want you in their vicinity, but you don't have to be all up under us. And the reason for that is because we want you there in order to help meet whatever goal that we are trying to achieve. You heard that? Help me?
Absolutely
So some of these are the things that men are most desirous of. And no, you can't be so unattractive that you get kicked out the bed, let's be clear. But as long as you
I'm going to just pause this real quick. I'm going to play the film. But and this is black man, you are right a little bit. It's like when someone that is not a man that's telling other men what we really want, which technically you don't really know what we want, and I can never tell a woman what she really wants. You know what I mean? But I just want to kind of put that out there. So you did put it out there. You know, and you know, you're entitled to your opinion about Kevin Samuels, but hey, it is what it is.
You said it pretty enough, attractive enough.
Hold on, I think Mr. Best wanted to say something.
Yeah, I'll say this to a counterpoint. Yeah, and I'll say this. I think you know, at her age, she should know what men generally want. You know what I mean? I think, because she's at a certain age, she should kind of generally know that. If she didn't know that, then I think that would be a problem. Because I think she's a little too old not to generally know what a man kind of is looking for. You know what I'm saying? So, if you know what I mean, and I'm not age shaming nobody, but I think at a certain age you should kind of know like what the opposite sex is looking for. And if you don't kind of know that, then it's gonna kind of show why you really can't find anybody. You know what I mean? Because you're not really in tune with what they're looking for or what they desire, right? So you know what I mean. So then, if you're not in tune with what they desire, what they're looking for, now it's gonna be hard for you to find. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be hard for you to really be around women or even kind of, you know, be able to get along with them because you're not even focusing on their patterns. You're not focusing on what they do. But then also, every woman is different, right? So every man and woman is different. But I think there are things that are general in with men and women, right? So there are aspects of us that we have general in our character. So there's general aspects of men's character, and for the most part, there's general aspects in women's character. You know what I mean? So I think that's a big thing. So yeah, I think her knowing or her kind of knowing what a man wants is a good thing. You know what I mean? And if a woman that age, if I asked her, does she know what a man generally wants, and she say no, she don't know, that's a huge red flag. Like, you don't know what I want? Like, yo, you like over 35? Like, how you don't know like what a man want by now? Like, where you been? You been hiding under a cave somewhere? Like, you don't got no type of experience with men? Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And then at that age, I'm not trying to teach you anything. I'm sorry. If you're that old and you need to learn something, I'm not teaching you none of that. Like, I'm sorry.
Nah, I agree with him on that.
I don't agree with that.
Huh?
I don't agree with that.
Well, I was gonna say good point on, but you don't agree with like what she said.
No, with what Beth just said. I feel like it's like, yes, having an idea of what people want for general awareness. But when I go on dates and people are like, so what are you looking for? I will never tell them what I'm looking for specifically because I want to see if that's who you are as a person. I don't want you to do things just because you want to, like, I don't want you to do things just because you want to fill in a role for me. I want to know who are you as a person because that mask is literally that's gonna fade. So I want to know, are you naturally communicative? Are you naturally, empathetic at times? Are you naturally a leader? I don't want to have to tell you, well, I need a leader. I need this. I need this. I need this. Because then you're just going to form yourself into that. I don't want you to form yourself into that. Be who you are. And I feel like when we lose authenticity, that's when we lose the opportunity to find who we really want. Because people who really want us to be authentic.
Yeah, but I don't think that's where he's coming from. And Mr. Best, I'll let you speak for that.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
I was kind of trying to chime in a little bit.
Yeah, that's not. Go ahead, Marcus. After I go, Marcus, you can go. Yeah, that's not what I'm trying to say, Deja.
Okay.
So yeah, so of course you don't want somebody that's kind of mimicking like what you are putting out there, right? So let's say you tell a man, oh, I like this, I like this, I like that, right? And now he's shadowing all those things that you like, right? Even though he's not even interested in none of those things that you put out there, right? He don't have an interest in none of those things. He don't care about none of those things, but he's only doing it because he just wants to, get with you. You know what I'm saying? Or get at you. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like if I specifically ask, a woman, do you generally know what men are want or what they're seeking, right? I'm generally asking you that, and you have no idea what a man wants or what he seeks, then that to me is a red flag, especially if you're at a certain age. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're at a certain age, I'm kind of like, you should kind of know that by now. You should kind of know what men are kind of looking for. And like I said, each man and woman is different. So I definitely will say that. But I do believe there's some general things that you should know about men that's kind of standard. You know what I'm saying? And I believe the same thing for men. I think men should have an understanding of what women are looking for in a general sense, for the most part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can I give an example?
Yeah.
Okay, so if somebody asks me what a woman wants, right? I'm gonna say, women want men who are vulnerable, You know what I mean? Insecure, and also, at times women may look for leadership from men as well. You know what I'm saying? Not in a fatherly way, you know what I mean, but in a companionship type of way. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would say women are generally looking for, right? And that could come in different aspects. You know what I mean? And but some women are not looking for leadership. Some women want more of a man who's more of like a partnership or more kind of an equal level, right? Which is fine. I think that can work out too, right? You know what I mean? In fact, I kind of prefer that, more than anything else, is to have a partnership with someone than me having to completely lead and take over everything. So, but I'm just giving a general statement. I'm not saying what people's preferences are, but I'm just giving a general like statement of what I think a woman will look for. You know what I'm saying? And that may not be that woman that I'm actually speaking to. You know what I mean? But I'm just generally putting that out there, if that makes sense.
Yeah. After Marcus, I gotta say something real quick, and then but go ahead, Marcus. And thank you, Bess and Deja.
Yeah, after you M3, let me go in
yeah.
after you make your statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just because the thing is too is like some people's authenticity is different than others. Some people could try to be a chameleon, and some people just want to learn from the other person. So, like, no offense, Tasha, I get what you're saying, that some people just want to like acquiesce and just slide into that role, but there are people who genuinely just want to ask the question straight up, because some people maybe don't want to waste their time and don't want to waste other person's time either. It's like, what are you looking for? Do you want to just have a good time? Do you want to have a family, or do you not want to have kids but get married or something like that, or want to have a long-term relationship?
That makes sense. I mean,
Yeah, but you also said that earlier, that a person, you don't want them asking, or you don't want to hear that, or have a person say that.
I don't want them asking me, so what do you look for in a man? And I have to list all the characteristics. Now, when I first meet somebody, I will tell them I'm not looking for just a hookup. That's something different to me. I'm telling them I'm actually dating with intention. But if I'm dating with intention, that doesn't mean for you to ask me all the characteristics that I want, because those characteristics, when I'm looking for someone, should come naturally instead of you having to ask me.
But that's also an expectation. Like, I get you want your expectation, but a person has a right to ask you, and hopefully you can answer honestly in return.
I can, but it's questionable, because in my mind, and like I said, I'm not speaking on everyone. This is just an opinion, and I could be wrong, and maybe that's why I'm single. Who knows? But in my mind, it's one of those, like, I can tell you, fine, I'm looking for a leader, but I'm not going to sit here and say I need someone who is like, I don't want to tell someone that, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be this. Like, I don't want to tell them that. I want to see, like, are you vulnerable? And if you're not, I wonder why. And we can dig into that a little more later. Like, if you're not, if you kind of are a strong leader, that's awesome. But I also want to know why. Like, I want to understand your character. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I get you. I think just that certain things, though, like throughout the duration of time you're with a person, they may not want to be such an open book, but just like the whole book, like they may want to do chapter per chapter. So it's like, you can say, maybe at this point in life we'll talk about that, and then later down the line we'll talk about this, or
exactly.
They'll open up. But it just, some people may not want to, say the whole stuff up front or even later in time either. But you might be able to be fortunate enough to be like, hey, just because the person crosses off the boxes for you, some people want to make sure they have the other person they have in their life, want to make them happy, or make sure that, hey, I'm trying to be the best person for that person in a relationship. If it's that, but understand though, you got to make sure you let them know. And even if they do that, there's a reason why they actually want to, as you said, not come, like, be authentically who you are and come and fill my quota. It's like, that's maybe who they are. Maybe who they are is who they want to be for the best other person.
But
Did my statement make sense though? Did my statement make sense?
No,
I definitely did. Because I think, because I agree with you, 84 on that, where, people should, to a certain degree, especially when you start getting older, you should have like a general understanding what people typically want. So I agree totally with you. But just to jump into where Daisha was saying and Marcus, I like what he was saying. I think you have to lay everything out up front. You know, because I get what you're saying, that Daisha, as far as like, you don't want nobody to mimic you and, you know, try to play games. But I think if you lay it out up front and just take it as it is, but you also have to be able to observe that person to see if like they take action for what they're saying. So it's like you got to do both. And because like what Marker was saying, I think by laying it out all up front, you allow that person say if they are genuine and they don't want to waste like time, just like you don't, or play games with somebody. It allows them to be like, okay, well, she's looking for this. I can't meet that. Good person. So let's just break ties at this moment. And like I said, you want to make sure like you actually could spot the certain things that they say. So I think you got to use a combination of both. But I think the earlier you lay everything out on the table, I think it just saves everybody time, and they kind of understand what your expectations are, you know, moving forward versus, you know, because we're not mind readers. It might be like a generally good person, but it's just like they might be lacking in a certain area. So it's like if you kind of told them like, hey, I'm looking for a guy that's vulnerable, he might be able to build like up to that area and stuff like that. So that's why I say I would recommend people lay everything out up front.
Right. And what I was going to just say, like, you know, before I play the video, I mean, communication is the key. And I mean, you could kind of observe like at first, but that should be like in a courtship type of phase. So if you don't really see that in a courtship type of phase, I mean, you can make your fair assessment if you want to get into the relationship and progress or not, or you want to have that communication before jumping into that relationship. I think a lot of times people, they see like those type of red flags that they probably see, but they don't communicate. And then they go on and jump into a relationship hoping that this person eventually would change, and then it doesn't really happen. But my point from earlier, right, the reason why I was talking about like how why I agree with indigenous black men as far as like, you know, women or people speaking on the behalf of the opposite gender. Yes, of course, like in a relationship sense, Rise, yeah, you should know already the person that you're with. You know, you should already know like the people that what men or women like. But however, a lot of times when I come across these platforms and women are telling men, you know, what they like and, you know, who they are, I'm always hearing like the combativeness where it's like a back and forth argument, because there's men that's telling other women that this is not true. This is not exactly what we like 100%, but then they still want to spin the narrative of what they think that they like. And the thing is, because everyone has a subjective point of view, we can't fully just label that, hey, you know, women knows everything about men. But if they do, like just enough, like, yeah, that's good as far as like to build fundamental relationships. But what I see is usually the destruction part is men trying to tell women who they are, which is they try to tell women they're 3 or 4s and they need to do this. And women try to tell men that, oh, you guys could get all the women that you want, which that's necessarily not true. So if you're only tackling and focusing like on the bad aspects as opposed to really trying to dig into the positive aspects, I can see why people in the chat could be confused and thinking that, oh, it's just another woman trying to tell men what they really like. But you guys keep focusing on the past traumas where women actually weaponize and men actually weaponize amongst each other.
I call it the matriarchy.
Right. Which I got to jump into the video, right? Because this is a lengthy video, so I want to get to it.
Man wants. Now I will say this as someone who's going to give myself 8 and above. I'm gonna just do that.
You should. I co-sign that.
Okay.
I co-sign that.
Okay.
She gave herself an 8 and above. Okay.
I'll speak for myself. I am acutely aware, Stephen A.
Before
Stephen A. shot a shot.
Aware of, I don't mean this with disrespect. We're just gonna have a truth session right here, because I think a lot of women like her would benefit hearing the truth from a man with no skin in the game. Stephen A. Smith has skin in the game, so he's going to do what most men do and say things to appeal to your ego so that you continue to have a friendship or a business relationship.
Basically, Stephen A. Smith will lie to you.
In a circle of men that are in their mid to late 50s to early 60s. Because men are not rating women and adjusting for your age. Do you really think that you are an 8 for a man in your age range against a woman that is 20 years your junior? All right, I had to do some digging, but I found a picture of her back in 2017. She actually released a book called Pretty Powerful, which my guess is has something to do with her being a young, attractive, successful lawyer and having to navigate a male-dominated workspace while being those things. And you can see right here, for proof, it was posted by her back in 2017 on Facebook.
To be honest with you, back then she wasn't even that cute. She's all right.
She right here is definitely. Some would say 9. I would say an 8. Somewhere between an 8 and a 9. But would you rate this 8 to the current day 8 that we're seeing right here? I'll let the audience be the judge of that.
Of the adjustments that I would need to make in order to be more desirable on the dating market.
Well, may I ask what are those adjustments?
Oh,
good question, Steven.
I'm just asking. I mean, you brought it up.
I did.
You did say
it would be some of the things we mentioned, right? Like I would need to make more time. You know, I can imagine what your schedule looks like.
Right.
Mine might not look. It doesn't look identical, but it's probably not far off at this point. I tape a show on the West Coast. Last time I saw you, where were we?
Yeah,
in the air.
flying back
We
from
were
LA.
literally in the air. We were 30,000 feet in the air.
That's right.
So there's a bi-coastal lifestyle issue that I think would need some attention.
Mile High Club.
Is serious about trying to partner right now. There is
Yeah, which is why she said earlier that men need time. So probably her schedule has impacted her from a relationship perspective in the past.
an intensity
Maybe.
that I'm a very serious-minded woman, right? I deal with serious issues.
Yeah,
on a
you can't be
daily
with
basis.
a dingbat can't be with you. It ain't gonna work. He got to have some level of intellect. He don't have a chance.
I mean, and honestly,
Right.
even if I wanted to give him a chance, which I have done historically, don't tell nobody. I really wouldn't be as attracted. There's something about the attraction.
I'm gonna say a little bit different than Steven, because again, I think that they're colleagues and he's stroking her ego. Steven's attributing this
he
to
has
intelligence to stroke her ego.
Yeah.
But a masculine man doesn't want to compete at all with his woman for the masculine championship belt in a relationship. We expect behaviors from women that we do not see in other men. Full stop. Femininity is beyond attractive to a masculine man, but if your aura is masculine, we'll entertain you, right? Shit, I might go deep inside of you because your masculinity doesn't change how supple the viscous innards on the insides are upon my
And this is what makes people low value. Okay, just putting it out there, right?
previous but we don't wife you.
Talk about in your experience as a professional, how do you see stress manifesting in Black women? I guess on occasion.
I don't give a fuck what you think.
Yeah, so I think it's a wonderful question. There are definitely gender differences. There are ways in which we're so
listen to this pocket. Go ahead.
we manage things.
Yeah, I'll say that if that was the case, then Jay-Z wouldn't be with Beyonce, from what MTR is saying. Like, at the end of the day, like, if your woman getting the bag, why would you stop her from getting the bag? Like, I don't understand this concept where our people just think that that women was always sitting around and never working. When have Black people not had to work? When in history in this country have we not had to work? So I just don't understand this idiotic rhetoric that our women were able to stay at home. They were not. My grandmother never stayed at home. My mother never stayed at home. Like, my aunts, uncles, great aunts, grandmothers, they ain't never stayed at home. So I don't know where this high on the hog fantasy world of our women staying at home come from, or them not being able to get the bag come from. But our people ain't never had it like that, and we still don't. We don't really own no wealth in this country anyway.
Right.
We want to really break it down. So, like, I just don't understand this whole fantasy aspect that these manosphere dudes throw out there. It's just idiotic. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It's not even factual historically, nor is it factual now. So that means if I'm dating a woman and she is a banker and she manages a bank, I'm gonna tell her to quit her job and stay at home? Nah.
Hell to the no.
Taking 80K or above? Nah, she ain't quitting that.
Nope.
Matter of fact, can we own the bank? Can she find a way to own it? Nope. You know what I mean? So we can make more money?
Right. You know what? Next time we gotta pull up some like we gotta put up a historical sheet, Mr. Best, right? I don't know, like if you want to do a stream about it, or I need to do a stream about it. But I think we really,
you know what we do. We here.
Yeah, I think we need to actually have a historical sheet where we have to read it piece by piece. I know y'all will get bored of it, so I get it because y'all for the entertainment. I get it, but the point is that a lot of times, like our women, like our our ancestors, whatever, right? They had to work like 10 times harder than what we're doing right now. I'm just being honest. We're technically like the lazy ones compared to them. And that's why they get frustrated at us because they know that they didn't really have it all that good. Things that we have right now where we can communicate with each other with ease, they had a struggle to do that. They had a struggle to like work, and you're not really. I mean, I get it, like the dollar, like per average or whatever it was, a little bit less, and the cost of living was a little bit different. But they still had a struggle, and they still had to work hard. The women had to work as well too. Even if you look at the movies, right? Most of the wives or whatever, even though they was taking care of their children, but they wasn't stay-at-home moms. They were still out there doing stuff. It just that I think two things that I'm always hearing about the manosphere. They heavily praise on non-working women who's supposed to be traditional and feminine. And again, there's no shot at you, MTR or whatever, right? Because you're cool. But in general, I'm hearing these same talking points about these women, right? Are back then they was free, they was all they doing is taking care of the household. And the other part is that the young part, like y'all keep referring to like these women like in their late teens, which is 19 and 21, and I get the fertility and the youthfulness or whatever, but I don't know, man. It just sounds like some to me, it all sounds like some pedo type of shit. Whenever I'm hearing like a grown man that's in his 50s talking about or eyeing about like a 20-year-old, you know what I mean? Like someone that you're pretty much old enough to be their dad. I had a conversation with a 19-year-old at the Space of Duty, and she has a good head on her shoulder. She works very hard, but I'm like looking at my thoughts. Like when I'm having this conversation with a young girl, I was like, how do people my age actually have the goals, right, to really be like, man, she's so young, she's so full of vitality. I just need to make her my wife soon and groom her so that way I could be her first to show her the world. I'm just looking at myself like, damn, like I'm really that old. I'm about to be 40 years old. This woman's 19. I'm 39. 20 years older than her. Like that could have been my daughter. That's the way I kind of look at stuff like that. But anyways, to each their own. I just had to just put that out there.
Yeah, let me jump in real quick. So I definitely agree with what both of y'all said, because I'll go to 84 first, where he was like breaking down it. I get what guys say when they talk about career women, as far as like if they're coming home and throwing in your face like I don't need you, or it's just like over the top competition. But man, I like successful women. I like educated women. We should be sitting down and having those discussions, how we can elevate. My wife is a career woman, very high earner. We sit down, man. I'm like, shoot, if you could make more, go ahead, man. I'm here to support you. You want to run through like business scenarios, we chop it up. So when guys talk that dumb shit where like they want a woman to like not excel, man, I think it's stupid, because in one breath, it's like, I don't want a career woman. A woman that makes money is masculine. But on the flip side, like, hey, if she takes all my money, if she stay at home and she takes all my money and stuff, they complaining about that. Then it goes to the court system is messed up. They want everything. So it's like, man, you can't have it both ways. And I think there's a lot of feminine women at work, that's willing to contribute to the house and help push the house forward and stuff. So I think, they got to hone in on the points. Like, it's just like, nah, we're not saying like career women or women that go get money are masculine. It's just focus it on a specific type that maybe has the bad attitudes and come home and, you know, might try to flex on the dude. That's different. So they got to like hone in on those arguments. And to go with you, M3, I agree. You know, I want to go as far as to say pedo, but yeah, it's like where guys talk about the younger women and stuff like that. I agree with you. My son's 22, and this is like, man, ain't no way in hell I could go mess with a chick that's like his age. So I'm like, you missed your boat on the young chick that looks hot, man, you gotta stay in your age group based on me, how I feel. So yeah, when guys be talking about like, well, you know, women get older and they age, guys, we get older in age too. You know, them young chicks, they don't like you. You know what I'm saying? For looks wise, you know, we get older, we ain't looking the best either. You know, they're coming there for that money. So it's like, man, people got to stop lying to themselves.
Right. And on the record, Marcus, I meant to say like fertility, but then I said vitality by mistake. So I meant to say
I think you probably fused the two words together, like a fusion. You know, like
I know,
vitality.
right? Hey, but I'll take it with the FY.
I got you.
Anyways, Krugers. Yeah.
Marcus is funny, bro.
Yeah, he is. Marcus is hilarious. So, Daisha, you was about to say something. I'm sorry if I cut you off.
No, actually, you said what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, I was gonna ask two questions. Why do men not like ambition? And then why do you find it's an ego thing? But if you're saying no, men do like it, it's just the arrogance that comes with it, which is just a general characteristic. So that kind of doesn't count.
No. Good question. Because just the first one, I think a lot of men, from what they're saying, they are kind of nervous about it. I don't think it's like a female thing. I think it's more or less like an insecurity they might have, because a lot of it is control. It's like they feel like, okay, if she has her own money and stuff, she could kind of leave at any time, or she'll find somebody at work. That's what a lot of those type of guys say. So it's more or less like a fear-based thing, versus like if they were truly like, you know, dudes be talking about I'm him, so, or you know, I got game or whatever. It's like if you were truly that guy, you wouldn't be like nervous if your woman went out and you vetted the right female. If she goes out into the real world, makes money and stuff, you're not concerned like who she comes across, because you're like, look, she's gonna come back home. She's doing this for the household and stuff. So, you're solid. I think a lot of guys do have that fear, based on even what they say online. You know,
because that's what it sounds like. Because it's almost like, why can we not have ambition? Why is it that we have to be so dependent? If we're smart, we're smart. If we want to contribute to society, we want to contribute. I don't understand why that's a bad thing. And it's always told as if it's a bad thing. But anyway, I think your response was great. So that's all. Yeah,
we got to just understand, right? Now, of course, you know, for everybody that's watching, right? And if you're taking this seriously, please don't, right? This is all just for entertainment. But all this is internet stuff. So if you digesting all this internet talk or whatever, and you really take this seriously, then look, shame on you as a person, right? You need to get that hand spanked, because all this, right, is really to just entice and entertain like a person's mind. Okay, like don't take none of this stuff seriously. People don't apply this into the real world, and if you do, you're a goofy. I'm just gonna put it like that. However, I'll tell this one story. I was actually at Merritt College at one point, right?
Be careful what story you want to share, M3. Be careful.
Mm-hmm. And I actually heard a woman, right? And it sounded like she was talking about something similar that I usually hear from the internet. And it was actually honestly like a first, right, to hear this. Obviously, she was a dysfunctional woman because she was in a conundrum with a guy. The guy is very kind, sweet, but she also likes it when a guy puts her in her place. And I would think to myself, it's like, man, ain't no guy, right? Ain't no right guy has the time, right? A guy that's on his ambition and on his purpose, I don't have time to be like putting like little kids in their place. I don't have time to be putting women in check just to like fill up your ego or fill up like your attraction for me. If you can't act right, don't be around me. Point blank, period. And this wasn't like a young woman. This looked like a woman that was like in her 30s. But you do have people that's out there that has that dysfunctional type of mindset. If you're too nice, it's creepy to them. they can't handle it. But those are only like those type of women, and not the smart ones that you should actually be with. Okay. But other than that, Sophisticated Jerk does not like broke chicks. So yes. Shout out to the hard working feminine women. All right. Those are like my sweet angels. Anyways, let's go ahead to the
yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Things that upset us. I think
I wasn't expecting that.
Because everything they tend to internalize things. So I think for women, you'll see things like significant irritability, especially in women of color. We don't give a especially in my sisters, because that irritability is sometimes more acceptable for people than the withdrawn, sullen, being sad because we're overwhelmed. I think another thing is that we tend to eat our worries.
I don't eat that kind of meat. I haven't really eaten it since I've been here.
And that's something I see a lot. And then the final thing I think is we tend to get into this perspective that this heightened stress that we experience as Black women with racism, sexism, and all kinds of other things is normal.
Oh, you think it's funny?
Right? And so high levels of stress instead of understanding we don't have to live like that. So those are some gender-based differences that I see.
Know that you've said that you cannot teach a man or tell a man how to be a man. So I will not ask you to indict men in this question. But I do want you to speak, Ayanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all.
Men are buying, Nate.
They are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the...
Because women got too much advice about men from other women. And they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus,
that's a problem. That's a problem.
I need money.
Wait. I gotta stop this, right?
Yo, the sound bites are killing me.
Okay, look, I'm not trying to sound like a feminist, and I'm not trying to be like I'm with Eboni K. Williams, but I forget that other lady's name with the glasses, right? But
Ayala Van Zant.
There you go.
Iana who?
I stay butchering her name.
Ayala Van Zant.
Ayana Van Zant. Okay, thank you, Mr. Best. Here's the thing. I honestly think that she's wrong for telling her that shut up, Marcus. I honestly think that she's wrong for telling that she's wrong, because you can't just condemn someone for who they like and who they don't like. Yes, it may sound like to the extreme, but it does not really sound to extreme for her, because she's already established her career. I mean, look, if Eboni K. Williams is making, I don't know, 100 or someone told me she was making like $400,000 like a year. Like, yeah,
she a millionaire. She up there.
Yeah, so how is that wrong for her to not want to date someone that is like, like her league? That's like at least above her league, or like that's like close to that. If she feels like someone who's, working at a regular job is not good enough for a millionaire material, she has the right to choose. As much as I hate to say this, and I know guys will be crying over it, but that's the reality of it. If I was in that position, look, man, I wouldn't want to date like no broke chick. You know what I mean? And I definitely would not want to upgrade a McDonald's chick. So I will.
What if she owned the McDonald's?
There you go, Marcus.
Hey, she's right up my alley. I ain't got to worry about her trying to clean up my pockets when we break up. I ain't got to worry too much about any lawsuits. She has something to lose, just like I have something to lose.
That's right. M3, get them Happy Meals.
Mm-hmm. No, but M3, I totally agree with what you're saying, because like you can't be mad at people's preferences.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes that's where people go wrong. They're like, "Oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that." But what I will say though is like, you got to understand like the repercussions for like those preferences. So for like Eboni K. Williams, it's like I wouldn't date a guy unless he makes a certain amount of money, because she's looking at it like I want somebody equal or higher. Right. Then there's probably like a attraction element that she goes for. Then there's probably whatever other preferences. So she done turn her dating pool to where it's such a small thing where it's like you might not ever get, where it's like slim and stuff, where you might not ever find that person. So it's like, man, you got to deal with you have to have understanding, and you got to know like, okay, I done shrunk that pool so much that I might not ever get that. And typically when people like think like her, they start kind of blaming everybody else versus like looking at themselves like, damn, you know what? Maybe I need to back up off like my stance of like income they need to make. Maybe I need to back off the, attraction element so I can actually find somebody that's good and stuff. But, typically they think they're always settling down and stuff. So they're like trapped themselves, like I said, into that purgatory where they just always like unhappy. And then they start kind of blaming everybody else. Like, well, those guys don't want this. They don't want that. So yeah, that's why I think like she needs to have more awareness and stuff. But yeah, you can't pretty much try to change somebody what their preferences are.
Well, that's also like another problem with like sophisticated jerk that I do have with some people, right? That's like one of my fat friends, right? That talks about how fat she is, and so please like make her skinny like in pictures, but at the same time, you keep eating all these like like big heavy type of meals when all you have to do is just pretty much cut down your portion sizes and actually eat the right type of foods. I get that part as well too. Even with Eboni K. Williams and like in her stance, right? Like I understand that she wants to be with a guy that is someone that's on her league and not someone that's going to probably take advantage of her because she's Eboni K. Williams. But this is like a sacrifice or a decision that you have to make. So it's either one or the other. You're going to either date someone who could be actually kind and actually be like a sweetheart to you, but he doesn't have that type of status as she has that type of status. And unfortunately, women will rather choose a man that is something that her peers will actually look up to, as opposed to someone that actually has the potential to still fulfill her and her happy needs outside of the media. And unfortunately, people look at the outwardly more than the inside of it.
Go ahead, Mark.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I just think I'm getting from the vibe with the who's the lady again on the left side? Not the glasses, not
Eboni K. Williams.
Eboni K. Williams. There you go. I pulled the N3 and messed up the name. I think with Eboni, I think what she said, she went to law school. She might have had a suitor, maybe at some point, maybe going through there. People probably like were trying, because she was an attractive woman. Yeah, even when she was younger too, like she was an attractive woman. So, I'm thinking maybe she could have had a colleague or maybe someone she worked with, but maybe, I don't know. I think from what I've seen so far from some of her work, I think maybe she's the kind of lady who she'll be the dominant one, or maybe she'll need someone to over dominate her in the relationship, just from what I'm getting. And maybe that's where the pool got even more slimmer. And now that she's, a known name, because I've heard the name before and I've seen some of her work on social media and stuff. She's, like, just like a sophisticated jerk was saying, like the pool gets slimmer. So your success, depending on what it is to in career paths, it has its pros and cons. And if I know anything about lawyers, district attorneys, judges and stuff, they either mess around with each other or they like, you know what? I'm going to be the person with this kind of title and status, and then I'll date somebody outside of my job field. And they kind of have like that, well, like Jerk said, that control.
Marcus, you're spot on. If Eboni K. Williams was being honest with herself, like what she wanted, because obviously, like, that's what I'm getting from her too, kind of like control freak vibes, and she need to get an ugly dude with money that like pedestalizes her. That for real, man. That's where she'll be happy, is where she can run shit. He sees her as like this like beauty standard. He want the like trophy wife type thing, man. And, yeah, where he just like, hey, this is the best thing that ever happened to me. Tell me whatever. I'm a jump through every hurdle. Like that's what she needs as a guy, man. That's where she'd be the happiest. But she can't settle on the looks thing. That's what I'm saying. Like she boxed herself in so much where she's like, I want that attractive guy with the high tail career, the unicorn. And that cat, you know, what she don't realize is like he, you know, the dude that's probably up to that level that she wants, you know, he has options. So he's, you know, he's not going to deal with a lot of this stuff. So that's the issue she's running into.
He's not going to deal with her sass. You know what I mean?
Yo, he said it, emphasized on it.
What was you about to say, Daisha?
I have a question. What do you guys feel is the difference? And I hope this question makes sense. What do you feel the difference is between having standards and having too much expectation?
Wait, say that again?
What do you feel is the difference between having high standards or just standards versus unrealistic expectations? And I say that because it sounds like we say men and women just need to check boxes, but that kind of, I remember somebody said to me one time, this is where I'm getting that from. Somebody did say to me, do you actually like me or am I just some boxes that you got checked? And so it's like, well, what's the difference between having standards and considering, and then just having some unrealistic expectations? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. No, I think standards, yeah, we mix them up, man. Really what people focus on a lot of times is like, I'll say preferences. So like what you're saying as far as standards should be like, hey, is this person loyal? Are they disciplined? You know, do they believe in like family, you know, legacy and all that stuff? You know, are they, you know, do they have spirituality and stuff like that? But typically what people go off of is like, I'll say attraction, and all of us do it to a certain extent, but I think a lot of people that's just the primary, and then they don't go them levels deep. They'll find that person that they're infatuated with, and then they try to like conform that person to, you know, the standards at that point once they like get infatuated with their looks and stuff, and that's what tends to happen. And so yeah, we should be focused more on like standards or what you're saying, but nah, most people just go on the attraction part.
So you do feel there's a difference then?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But regardless of the difference, right? Most people, and I mean like over 90%, got standards that they don't even meet. Like, so yeah, that's true. That is so true. In reality, most motherfuckers are just fucked up. I'm sorry to say it like that. So it don't matter what standards they have. They'll never get the standards they want or have because they are not their own standards. Period. So it's like, yeah, that's good to hear. But what about reality?
Do you guys match your own standards? I know I do. I only put, and I wrote them out. So I was like, yeah, that was arrogant of me to say. But yeah, I always say I can say this.
Is it arrogance or confidence?
Either way, I do say I can say these standards because I meet these standards. So, but do you feel like you guys meet?
It's only arrogant if it's not realistic.
Okay, well, it's confidence then.
There you go.
Okay.
No, I don't meet my standards, and I'll say that proudly.
Really?
Right now.
Tell me more.
Yep.
You elaborate on those niggas. This is you always truthful. I like your perspective.
Hey, I was trying, but no, I don't even meet my own standards, especially when it comes to men.
Okay.
And that's because I don't usually come across a lot of men that I have a preference for, a lot of men that have a love for that can match me financially. It's rare that I come across that. And don't get me wrong, I have came across that, but I mean, you don't match with people just because they look good on paper. Like that's not what that is. So it's like I can say, well, I have a standard that you got to make at least 10% more than me. I can have that standard, but when I look into the world and I say, okay, what's the probability of me meeting that within where I live at and what I know my people got up against us? Probably need a cat because it's not gonna work. And if I finally do get it, what's the percentage of that relationship working out based on normal standards? So it's like no, I had to even say, look, when it comes to standards, I can't have but so many standards. My standards got to be character based because that's the only thing that lasts. Money don't last. Even me, if I get into an accident, I got 2 insurance backups because anything can happen and I can lose everything. So nothing physical will last. But that character piece is the only thing that you can guarantee when everything fails, that's going to be in place. However, again, most people don't qualify for the character traits that they're asking for. Somebody says, well, I want a woman that's loyal. How many women have you cheated on? Well, most of them. What are we talking about, Negro? You want a woman that knows how to dress. Based on what standard? Your mother or your daughter? Which one? Like, what you say you want a woman that know how to dress. Now, here's the thing. Knowing how to dress based on how you chose her or how you want her to present to your friends. Which one? Because, you know, a lot of men choose women, and it's sad to say, they will choose women and marry the worst women. 80% getting divorced. They marry the worst women, but then be saying our standards of how you conduct yourself. You telling me 80% of the chicks that's getting divorced wasn't conducting themselves right? Tell me more. I'm just saying, like, the standards that we say we have, we really don't have. And I can proudly say I've had to drop my own standards to be realistic based on where I am at and where my people are at. And when I say realistic, I just mean simply the average income here is around, I want to say between 50 and 60,000. But most Black people are on the latter end of that. So it's like, when I look at things, I can't sit here and say, well, you know, if a guy ain't making what I'm making and I'm not the standard, well, I can't deal with him. No, realistically, what's the standard? 40 to 60,000 a year. Am I over that? Sure. Does it take more than that to live? Not really. But to live at the level where I'm at, yeah, it takes a lot to live where I'm at. But what do I value? You see what I'm saying? I can sit and value a guy making more than me. I can. But I can also be single for a very, very long time. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm 42 and I don't like being alone. I just don't. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't do that. But some people, the reason why they don't have standards or they're too high is really because of personal ego stuff, like very much personal ego stuff. So I don't pay attention to what people say online as far as like what they want, but then I look at the background of their life to see what they really want. Like if you say like for instance, sophisticated, you say, well, look, I don't fuck with broke chick, period. Like I ain't that type nigga. So, okay, when I look in your background, I'd be like, what is his wife looking like? What is his girlfriend looking like? Oh, okay. I see where she worked at. She got that GOV at the end of her email. I see. Oh, she bringing that behind them hedge funds. Oh, okay. I see why he doing that. Okay, that's him. He can't deal with it, but that's his standard though, and that's where he's at. So it's like if he operates at a level where he can meet women like that and interact with women like that, that's why that works. But if he would never be in a circumstance like that, you see what I'm saying? And he's saying, I don't want a broke woman, but all 99% of the women you around are on social services. Like, what, like, come on. If you're the type of guy when most of the women you're around are broke, the best thing you can do is be the type of dude that go 50-50 and say, listen, I put up, you put up, and we all get together. But you can't be like, I don't want to date a broke bitch. Meanwhile, all the women in your family on social services, all the past chicks you've been with was cashiers, shit like that.
Wait, we fuck with you, Lola. This is why we mess with you, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I got a question, but let me make a quick statement. Prime, you are
she own the cashier?
Because most of us just want a pleasant woman who takes care of herself. You know, whether it be financially, spiritually, mentally, all these other things. But the thing is, unfortunately, internet man wants women to pretty much quit their day jobs. I don't know why that's a thing, but then it's like when you're messing with those type of women and they want to strip you from your money, then you start to complain about it. So please make it make sense. And he also says, Lola, you probably be eyeing the trash man at this point, right? And maybe she is, but trash people, well, we call it waste management people, okay? They're the ones that's be making like the big bucks, like over $100K a year. Well, maybe in California. I can't say about,
You could be the owner of Waste Management, right?
Right. But Lola, I do have a question for you, right? Besides, if you could probably cam up, right, for the viewership. My question is, okay, for the times that you like, let's say you broke those type of standards, right? Was it like, okay, did you pretty much set those rules like for men who are lesser attractive versus the men like who are highly attractive?
Mm-mm. No, it was across the board because keep in mind, like the real standard is my father. Like if at first I felt like, well, I need a man like my father who has, property, rental properties, own land, got all sorts of like income coming in, like own several cars, got all sorts of like just resources at his disposal, right? And like that was my standard, like for real. But my father's income and what my father has been able to accomplish because of, inheriting his grandfather's estate and a bunch of other things, that's not what the average black man is doing. And honestly, I'm not saying I'm looking for average black men. However, like there's a greater chance that I'll be with somebody from the 80%. Okay. There's just a greater chance of that. So I'm not saying that I can't get someone that's on the same par level with my father, but generally speaking, I haven't met men in my life that's on the same level as my dad when it comes to resources. So I had to forcibly say, listen, I want to meet someone. I'm not really needing a man that has as much as what my father has. That's nice, but I don't need that. I just don't need that. Even with my own income, it's not about how he looked or what he do. I've just realized, like, realistically, this is what I'm looking at. Now, I will say that depending on how you feel about a person is depending on how much you're gonna bend on some of your, your rules and whatnot. But generally speaking, personally for me, when it comes to that, no, it don't matter who you eat. Like, at first you was putting against my father. Now you pretty much against what I expect, generally speaking. But if you're like 45 years old, right, and I don't know, a babysitter, and you making $2 over the minimum wage, that's not something that I'm gonna say I don't fuck with because you're a babysitter. No, but I know in 45 years, if that's your highest accomplishment, something's wrong. And I mean, something else is wrong. It has nothing to do with anything I'm looking at right here. So, and here's the thing. I don't got time to raise nobody. I didn't raise 3 children. I don't got time. Not at all. So that's just how I see it. I'm not judging somebody who doesn't make a lot of money, but I know where a man should be at relatively by a certain age. I'll give you maybe five or so years, give or take, but I'm not done. You understand? I'm not done.
Basically, 27K, ain't no way.
Hold on. Right, I came back up here specifically for her. You know what I'm saying? I came back up here for Lola. Yeah, I came back up here for you, girl. You know what I mean? Let me give my sister her flowers. You know what I mean? This is my sister for real. Now, this is my big sister right here. Let me give her a flower. She's doing an excellent job. You know what I mean? She's opening her horizons up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? She's doing a thing out here. You know what I mean? I gotta give her flowers. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta do that with a big smile on my face. With my childlike smile, I damn sure gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's go.
I was watching one panel. I saw Lola cooking up, boy. Yeah, I tuned in. I was going somewhere, and I was like, shit, I gotta pause it. I parked on the side of the road and was like, was watching. But let me just highlight. I like what Lola said, man, when she highlighted, like, I guess people in proximity. And I think that's important because, like I said, I wouldn't mess with broke chicks because, like, where I'm at and stuff. But I think awareness is important because, like, I would be willing to drop in, like, attraction to make sure that somebody that had their stuff together and stuff like that. And I think that's why I was like, I like what Lola said, because she's like, hey, I did have these standards, but I started adapting them when I started realizing, like, hey, most people ain't at this position or something. So it's like you got to give up something eventually. And some people just are never willing to, like, give up anything. And I think that's like what Eboni K. Williams is at, where she's just like, hey, I'm unwilling to budge on anything. And it's just like, you're going to end up alone. And invisible to a certain degree because we all want some form of companionship. I don't care who you are, unless you want some like serial killer shit. You're gonna move off the grid to Alaska or something. I can't do it. So it's just like you do got to give up in some area to get that that standard that you're steadfast on. So now I like what she said. That I just wanted to highlight that.
Like don't get me wrong, it was a hard come down, but I had to because what else I'm fitting to do?
Hey, real quick, can we get like the Return of the Chronicles of Lola, at least for like one episode? I was thinking about Lola like the other day, right? You know what I mean? I was like, dang, we haven't had an episode of the Chronicles of Lola. Like she came to like Black Files and all that, which is cool, but we gotta get like at least like something more controversial, man. We gotta stir up something on our relationship side, right? Like, look, man, I got the prison background ready, right? So if y'all want to throw me in YouTube jail again and cancel me, I'm ready. All right, I'm fully locked and loaded. So, we gotta talk about. We gotta
been trying to track this woman down to do Black Files episodes for like almost 2 months now. All right, now, and she been busy, and I know why she been busy. You know what I'm saying? But I
know.
We're gonna track it down. We're gonna get in the lab. You know what I mean? We're gonna get it going. You know what I mean? We're gonna get some StreamYard work in. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get it right. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get it right. You feel me?
Yeah. It's ready for you, Lola. Like our home is open, so maybe probably somewhere in the summertime, because you know what I mean. Hot girl summer is coming up soon, so we definitely need to get Lola.
He said hot girls. Well, no. Here's the thing. Y'all know I'm not the best content creator. Like I have literally been reading content about how to be a content creator because life be lifing over here. Like y'all know I work in DC now. Like I don't be having time for real. And then when I do have time,
hold on. Let me stop you real quick. Have you made content? Yes or no? Have you ever made content in the past?
I do make content.
Okay, congratulations. You are now an official content creator. Do we see you up on the internet on the live streams? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, and have you been on Knowledge Relations and the Intellectual Soapbox platforms, and you have your own YouTube channel, right? GOD, Game of Drunks. Game of Dragons. My bad. Okay.
He said Game of Drunks.
No.
Marcus is just going in, yo.
Mr. Bass, he does it to himself.
Anyways, right? You are a content creator. Shout out Marcus, right? You are an official content creator. So look, man, you ain't gotta study. Look, you just gotta produce the content, and all you have to do is just talk. You're very good at talking.
I'm just not consistent. Maybe that's what I should say. I'm not consistent.
I just said just come one time, make an episode, and then you just be on your way for a couple of days or so, and then that's it.
Basically, he wants you to come to the virtual cookout.
Well, you gotta tell him the compliment. You gotta tell him the compliment I gave you about you as a content creator. You gotta tell him what I said.
No. Okay. Here's the thing. I know.
I want to hear. Tell me, Lola.
No, tell him what I said.
Tell me.
You know my memory bad. I'm gonna have to, put it in context.
Wait, Lola. Can you cam up and tell me? It'd probably be better.
Yeah, first off, y'all. Every time I catch y'all show like this, I'm coming from the market, and I got my hat on backwards and my hoodie, and I look crazy. So yeah, you see, now this is every time I come up here on your show, M3. This is when you have it. So now I cannot. Now give me like a couple minutes, I would. But I like doing content, but like for instance, I got Game of Dragons, right? I've been trying to get more intellectual interviews up there. I just been lazy about it because when I come home, I be tired. But then now the content that I do make on other people's channels be hit or miss, and I kind of got it relegated to Thursdays now. Because everything else is like hit or miss, and I got to do my own content. I got content for days that I haven't done on the Love Experience. And then, I got the Real Serious B, but I stopped doing that because I said I'm going to only put stuff on the Real Serious B when I do travel content. And right now, like I haven't been traveling, but I'm going to be traveling soon. Well, I have been traveling, but it's been for private reasons. That's something else. But
Is it recorded content that you have stored up that you haven't uploaded yet?
Some of it is, some of it isn't. Because like I do my own written content on the Love Experience. Mm-hmm. So a lot of that is needs to be edited, put together, all of that. But I'm trying. I am trying. But here's the thing. I don't use YouTube to get money though. A lot of people up here trying to like get money and all of that. I ain't trying to get money for real. Like I'm just up here having fun. It's my pastime.
Yeah, that's why we want you up in the Chronicles of Lola so we have fun. Like the good old days when we used to talk shit.
So I told Lola that she doesn't need me and she doesn't need anybody else that she's working with. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That she's the best content creator that I've ever met. I told her that. Outside of the late great QueBee, she's the best content creator I've ever met. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I told her. She don't remember, but that's what I told her.
Yeah. And that's an amazing compliment. That should
I'm trying. It's gonna be
hard. See, I'm so sick and tired of people talking about I'm trying. You're already doing it. But you're doing it at your own pace, Lola. Look, man, look. You know how to make your own graphics. You know how to run the StreamYard by now. And
I do.
Yeah.
I know how to run it. But see, when I do content, a lot of times y'all be saying it be too much and I need to shut the fuck up, or I need to sit down, or I need to calm down, I need to get down. Like y'all like Mr. Best, I know that. Don't act like when I do content, sometimes you don't be calling me saying, Lola, what the fuck was that? What the heck? Like every time. Like he's like, what
because you be wasting your greatness on bullshit. And then of course
sometimes I do.
I'm gonna hold you to a standard, and I'm gonna be on your ass about you not doing things and not doing things the right way. I'm definitely gonna be on you. You already know that. That's out of love, though. You know what I'm saying?
Look at this. That's what he do. He be holding me to standards, and I be like, listen, every now and then, what y'all gonna do is allow me to be a human being. But this is what happens. So I be like, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I need to reassess for some more years, but I'm gonna get it together.
Some more years. All right, yeah, that's yeah. All right. Let's go ahead. We're gonna continue on with the video, right? But yeah, Chronicles coming soon. We're gonna find a way.
Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women.
Now, with you, there's a primalness to, especially when we talk about heterosexual men and women, there's a primalness to how we are attracted to one another. And in order for me, who's still very much, despite my intensity and my intellect and all this, kind of what we would consider masculine alpha shit, right? I don't know if I can cuss on here. Okay. I'm still you've known me for a long time. You've known me almost 10 years today.
Don't lie to her.
I'm still very much very feminine, very soft in many ways, and I'm still like a Southern belle in a lot of capacities. I'm born and raised in North Carolina. Let's go. So those things still, that receptacle energy is still very real for me. So now I need a masculine energy that can just almost overperform.
And you know what it is too? If I may say this right.
Go ahead.
Women need to know.
So we gotta overperform our masculinity to accept your half masculine, half feminine ass. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like, we are not in competition. I don't want to be in competition with you. Why should my masculinity have to coax out your femininity? Why? It's not your reference point. It's not your normal. It's not what you've watched. But you've watched the Oprahs, you've watched the Cosmopolitan magazines, you've watched all of these different examples of boss bees, and now you need a reason to stop your fast-paced life. Now you need a reason to be feminine, because now he's being his masculine. He has finally chosen, even though there's a wake of men in your past who have not chosen, that just took a look and just said, this is just gonna be fun for right now. But now in your 40s, when you admit that there's things that you have to change, you still don't do it. Kevin Samuels was absolutely a wake-up call, a mirror in the face, in a sea of women that protect themselves with the girl code.
I'm gonna skip forward on this one.
That confirm lies to them. or get in front of other men that are in a position to tell them the truth, but don't because they want to keep a business relationship or a friendship going with them.
Know this. Women need to know this.
I mean, you can't really blame them though.
You gotta allow a man to be a man. Here's what I mean by that.
Please.
You have a lot of women out there who don't want to be quote unquote objectified. You don't want a man looking at you and he desires what he sees. That's what they say, a lot of
That's
them.
what they say.
That's what they say. And I'm going like this. So you want him not to desire what he's looking at, when he looks at you? What kind of sense does that make? And not only that, don't get me wrong, he don't need to be classless. He don't need to approach you and be
that's not my, that, let me just be clear, whoever's listening, that's not my issue.
Right.
You know this about
That's
me, I
right.
think.
Yes, I do.
I'm a pageant queen, for God's sakes.
Right.
I pride
what?
myself on one of the things, in fact, there are also men, since we're gonna do this, that that pretty stuff don't mean that much to them.
Right.
It just don't. It's like you say, pretty enough, that's fine. If you are a man that average to a slightly above average aesthetic works for you, I am not your woman.
Right.
I'm not, because I am for a man who values probably 9 out of 10 times when we walk into the room, you've probably got the prettiest lady on your arm. Yeah, and that doesn't mean
But
something.
you can pull that off.
Right.
I
that's
can't
my
hold
point.
most women accountable for that because
That's my
most of them
point.
can't pull it off. Like
I understand, and those are the adjustments. But you asked me what adjustments would I make?
Right.
Those are some of the adjustments. I would consider men, because I know that's one of my. It's like cards. You know your strong suit.
Right.
That's one of my strong suits.
But where I was going was this. I wasn't just talking about, I didn't mean objectified in a literal sense. I'm talking about you being a guy.
Yeah.
You coveting what you see. You wanting to be turned on by your significant other. You wanting to feel as if you're married, but you want to feel like you felt when you were dating. You don't want to feel like monotony and mundaneness is kicked in, and you're just going through the regular rigmarole of life, and it's devoid of excitement, suspense, intrigue, or whatever word might be appropriate.
It better be, because if it's not you,
it's
gonna
gonna be somebody
happen to
else.
somebody else. Yeah, so I think that is an issue on its own, and that's on an island. I think for more women like myself and how I'm describing these 8s and above, we got that part, most of us, in terms of we're going to make you, that attraction piece is something that we're going to put energy into, because we know that's how we got you. Right. Okay. I think it's the intensity. I think it's the constant. Okay. One of the best things I think about me, Stephen A, as a friend, as a romantic partner, as a daughter, even to my mother. If you are interested in being the very best version of yourself, I'm a very good person to have in your life.
Yes.
Because
you'll push it.
I'm gonna push you.
You'll push it.
I'm gonna push you.
Right.
Everybody don't like to be pushed. And I don't think in the romantic context, I've learned in real time that it is super appreciated from your romantic partner.
But this is why I tell all my G's out there that the way that you feel about yourself within your early 20s, late teens.
All right, quick pause. Ray Pill, this is for you. I'm glad that you're all caught up now, buddy. Refresh that internet. Anyways, let's go ahead and we're going to continue.
Early 20s, getting into your 30s has no weight on who you will be into your 30s and even into your 40s. If you stay on the path of continuous learning, if you stay on the path of rising in excellence, if you stay on the path, the ambitious path to developing skill sets that are powerful within this world, to earn money, to have financial fitness while adhering to your purpose, because she just confirmed it. Women as they age are holding on to what once was, and they do so in a very delusional sort of way. We just referenced this, her referring to herself as an 8. Meanwhile, 9 out of 10 times, she's gonna be the baddest person in a room. What? The math don't even make sense. But their goal is to keep up with that aesthetic because they are a depreciating asset. While the low point that you feel within your 20s, as you're developing yourself, is the same feeling that they feel when they start entering into the anti-aging or the anti-ego decline industry. They know that their time is running thin.
I got you. Very late, but I want to get to we start kind of describing how like certain men will approach her and they'll build, but after they get to know her, then it's like they just But go ahead.
No, we can't even get to that because we need to address the pink neon green elephant in the room. Okay. Now, no offense to MTR, but I can hear in his voice, his inflections, I can feel in his energy that he really feeling Shorty, but he fucked up over her personality because he really feeling Shorty. And I'm like, you're complaining about her because you really want her. It ain't about this dumbass shit that y'all trying to say about women or a depreciating factor or whatever. It's like, how much is a woman worth when you about to go into operating room because you have a cancer screening and they gonna operate on you and she the only one that's in the waiting room waiting on you? How much is a woman worth when she's sitting in an operating room waiting on you to wake up? So this is the bullshit I'm talking about. This Negro right here don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He think that he's hiding from everyone. And granted, you can fool some people some of the time, but you cannot fool all the people all of the time. And right now, he's complaining about the women that he really wants. And this is the problem of how we separate ourselves in this YouTube space. Everybody on here ain't complaining about the females they don't fuck with and lying to themselves. There's some people on here that got legitimate concerns about society. Other ones like him, that's not a legitimate concern. And I don't give a fuck what the fuck she say about men, women, herself at 20 versus 40. He really feeling her and he mad because he can't get that. And that's what he really want. He want that type woman that's making that kind of money, that got that kind of sex appeal, that got that kind of attitude, but he know he can't get it for whatever reason, and he mad and he talking, and because I'm not hearing what she doing wrong. He's talking about women are a depreciating item. Nigga, every woman don't feel like that. And if you really think women are a depreciating item, which you shouldn't invest in, go get yourself a nigga. Like, it's really that easy nowadays. Go get a nigga if you got this much complaints about what the fuck all women are going through. And of course he says, oh, well, you know, a little bit of women don't do this. No, I can hear in your voice that's what you really think about women, because I would never say men have a very little value in the world of women. What? Like, why would I say that shit, knowing what the fuck I really know and shit? Why would I say that? Like, here's the thing. It's not even about how much I care about my father. That's just not the reality I live in. So this is what I'm saying. Like, I hear what the review he's given, and I get it. Like, this is a horrible review. But he has talked about her before, and he's made his disgruntledness about her personally before. And the fact that every time this woman opens her mouth, he needs to give his opinion about her, when in reality, if you stop focusing on her, right, she won't become a focus of nobody. I wouldn't know what the fuck this woman like if it wasn't for other people being upset. I don't follow Shorty like that. Seriously, her audience grew when these niggas started paying her attention. And I'm sitting here like, isn't that what the women are supposed to do? Not pay certain men attention to circumvent the issues. And it's like, at the same time, you're telling us to be more masculine, more disciplined than you're willing to be. Stop talking about the bitches you don't really want to fuck with, so you say, and then I'll respect you. Talk about the women online that you really fuck with. Do you fuck with Iyanla? Women like her, is that who you fuck with? Talk about that, because see, I know shit in her past that you wouldn't like either. So while she would date a bus driver, I know what she did to her children. I know what she did to her husband. I know what he did back to her. Now, would you want to date a woman with that in her background, like Iyanla? No, but you're touting what she said right now about a fucking bus driver. Are you kidding me? Most men don't even want to be bus drivers, but you want to sit here and talk about this chick because she made a comment. Now, every time she talks about relationship issues, y'all gonna die. Yes, Pastor said, y'all gonna die. You're gonna die when this talk about everything she sees in a mediocre man. Every time she say need, you're gonna be over there like, oh, she meant mediocre and shit. No, this is the problem with these Negroes. Okay, they need to get up in the church for real. Okay, they need to let that woman know, I love you. I don't care how much I make. You need to come down for me because I loves you, black woman. I wants to worship you despite the dumb shit. That's what you need to do. Yes, Jesus. Tell them, because I ain't telling them. I'm on the other side. This is what they need.
M3, drop that. Oh, sound effect.
Oh yeah, I got you that. Okay, well, okay. I got something to say, right? So,
incredible.
Lola. Okay, so Lola is right to a certain degree because honestly, I don't really follow Eboni K, especially like when I first heard about her when she was talking about bus drivers, which I didn't really care because like I do transit vehicles and I'm like, well, I'm just not the one for her. Plus, I'm married, so I don't really need her. But here's the other thing, right? I wouldn't have even known about her if it wasn't for like MTR and O'Shea Duke Jackson. Salute to Mr. Best. He said he gotta go for a minute. He'll be back. If it wasn't for like O'Shea Duke Jackson and Mediocre Tutorials having these type of reaction videos, I don't even know Fresh or Fit has done like reaction video. Maybe they probably have based on like her stance on bus drivers and all that, and rightfully so. If you choose that you want to pretty much engage with certain people of her caliber, but I don't really agree as far as like, well, maybe like he likes her, but because she just has that big mouth of hers, that she just that is the reason why he's talking about her. I think he's just talking about her because again, he's a content creator. He does reaction videos, and her big mouth provides money in his pocket. So he's going to capitalize the opportunity to pretty much talk about her and pretty much fuse in manosphere talking points. But
she didn't say anything. She didn't say anything that men haven't been saying for centuries. Most men have. When one man want to sit and rag on another man, the first thing he do is rate that man's looks. And then he rates how much money that man is making. And usually it's the other way around. Okay. So it's like if men rate each other like that when they want to like, make fun of each other. And she says, hey, I'm making $1 million a year. I need my man to be more successful than me. How is she any different than me who I barely make 6 figures. I make a little over 6 figures. And I'm like, okay, I need a man that is willing to work with me based on where I'm at. You see what I'm saying? But I need him to be better than me in certain areas because he still needs to lead me no matter how much money he making. He still needs to lead me. How, even though me and her are in 2 different tax brackets, how is what she want any different than what I want? How?
Nah,
this is what I'm saying. You're saying that you don't see what he like her. Listen, any man that talk about a female that much to that degree, every single idea she has that he don't agree with, he needs to expound on that shit. And it's like, for real, she ain't even saying nothing, let alone that hasn't already been said 1,000 times over. Nigga, you like her. Imagine a female online right now. Every time M3 go live, she got to sit and do a whole nother live on every single thing he never said in life online. And every time she disagree with him, which is every time he opens his mouth, she need to do a live. And every time she ain't talking about him, she talking about his show. And if she ain't talking about his show, she talking about the people on his show. The more I talk is the more you gonna realize, yo, she really fuck with M3, but she just don't know how to express herself. Seriously, like all you think about is M3, day in, day night. Listen, we're grown, okay? We're grown. I don't even have as much time to pay attention to what the fuck these females want in men. And truth be told, MTR and that audience over there don't give a fuck about what women want. Like, explain to me how they give a fuck about what women want. 70% of them ain't even married. And 50% of them not even having sex according to them. But guess what? None of them want to sit and say, I'm part of the 50% that ain't having sex. So here's my thing. I'm not knocking their hustle, but I'm tired of hearing the fake outrage. That's exactly the word. Fake outrage. You don't give a fuck about these women that are single that you're not fucking with. You just mad because she said something and she got some sort of clout because she's already on television. And it made you feel a way. Truth be told, she light-skinned and she of that look that you like. So she is a preference. And she's telling you, essentially, you're not her preference because of money. And obviously with minorities, money is an issue in our community. So this is why it's triggering. But truth be told, they really fuck with Shorty hard. Like they fuck with her real hard. And I mean, come on, let's just say a word straight. Like You know, I'm okay with him having his opinion, but at what point are we going to stop and say, sir, she don't date bus drivers, okay? There's another chick out here that might not date a dude working at Walmart. There's another female out here that ain't gonna date a dude that don't make, I don't know, 7 figures. Because why? Like me, my father made 7 figures, so you gotta match my father. Is she wrong? We all want our fathers, especially when they've been in our life. Is a sophisticated jerk daughter wrong for saying, listen, if you don't equal up to my father, fuck you? Is she wrong? So this is what I'm saying. These niggas need to take the fuck out.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying now, because when you hit that last part where you were saying, I think it strikes a nerve with a lot of guys when, you know, like a female is like, hey, you don't level up to me, pretty much. So it might strike that nerve.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, so I wouldn't say that he wants her, but I do think like they get stuck in those like circular arguments, like we were kind of outlining before, where that's where I had some issues with, like I told people before, some of the red pill and stuff, because it's just like on 1 minute, you know, like we were talking about right before you pulled up, Lola, we're like, you know, dudes would be mad like when a female cleans them out that didn't work and stuff. But on one side, you know, you're calling like career women that masculine and they are not feminine and stuff. So yeah, they do got some bad arguments, and they got to hone it in to be very specific to, like, if like what you were saying, Lola, like if you're addressing the behavior, just address that. But yeah, you can't be mad if somebody hit a certain peak like Ebony K. Williams, because yeah, we covered that bus driver one, me and Manic, and I think we were one of the few people who were like, hey man, she's right. Like if she's on a whole category, she done hit a tier in society. Like man, you can't be mad if she's like, hey, I want somebody that's like close to that range, you know. And I think guys take it as like a swipe, but it's just like, I look at it the same way. Like, man, I want a certain person that got stay stuff together. So yeah, I would never be mad at somebody for kind of like having that stance in life.
Right.
Imagine your daughter walking in right now. You done raised her to your standard as a man, and she bring a dude in that you wouldn't even look at as half your standard. First of all, you're going to look back at her like, we really doing this? Then you're going to look at him. Then you're going to look back at her, and you're going to need a private moment with your daughter. And you're going to let your daughter know, I didn't raise you all these years, waking your ass up, taking you to school when I was tired of shit, fucking around for you to sit and do this shit. And you a whole man. So imagine, so it's like if she just imparts that same mentality that her father put in her out to the public, isn't that what we want as a community? Women raised by their fathers. But most black men will tell you, listen, most of these niggas is fuck niggas. I don't fuck with these niggas. I don't want these niggas with my daughter. Most of them. And a little bit that I do fuck with, you gotta be at least me or better than me. That's the standard of black men on their daughters. So it's like, why the fuck if a black woman say that shit, niggas is upset? That's what black men been saying their entire life. Oh, because she's a point.
Oh. You do have a good point, Lola. Wait, real quick.
No,
Vic,
is that good, Vic?
What up, Vic? How you doing? Are you on mute? Vic, you're on mute.
Oh, okay. What's up, folks?
Not much, man. Good to see
you. What's good, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't got too much to say. I mean, she could. You know what I'm saying? Because the reality is, that's exactly what any responsible father would say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the same way we use that reverse or that alternate viewpoint for the ladies to make our point and say, well, if it was your son, would you want him bringing home somebody who had 2 kids already, 3 kids already? Would you want that? We flip the game on them that way, and we not wrong for that.
Yeah.
So in the reverse, it is also true. However, it is not for us to choose. It's for us to shoot for those things that we can't affect. See, you can get your son-in-law position, because if you the kind of man that was teaching your daughter those things, you probably the kind of man that got at least some of that shit together. And that means you probably have a network of some kind that you can tap into a young man that is pursuing your daughter without your wishes. You know what I'm saying? And in that case, then now we're talking about community. We're not talking about individuals. I think that's the problem with the conversation. The reality is, just like she say, if MTR got such a fucking problem with what Ebony K. Williams got to say, he should either call her or not even worry about it. In reality, like as far as just a man, he don't got nothing to do with her. He qualified for her standards. He got paper. You know what I'm saying? He could probably honestly pull a Ebony K. Williams without a problem. However, that ain't good for business. Nobody's mad at Maury. Nobody's mad at Jerry. They don't give a fuck about hood problems, trailer park problems. They're selling a product. So if you look too deep, you know what I'm saying, you'll fuck around and taint your own soul. That's why the eyes are the gateway to the soul. You don't spend a lot of time on bullshit. So why would I be out here talking about, just like Lola said, why would I be talking about the shit that I don't want? We got a platform right now. We could be talking about anything. But this is what we're talking about today. So this must be what we're invested in, or our motives are otherwise. And as long as we know what they are, it's not for me to judge what your motives are or how you get your money, but just delineate that's what we're doing. This is all entertainment, folks.
Vic, I gotta give you a little pushback on that.
Don't take it to heart.
Yeah, because I think when we touch these topics, you know, sometimes, you know, you take a story and you could pull stuff out of it. So, like, I agree with a lot what you guys are saying, but I even think, like, there are messages and everything that you could review. So, for example, like, I like what Lola was breaking down before, where she was just like, hey, I had to adjust my standards, you know, and that helped me be more aware. You know, same thing with me. I had to do the same thing. And I think when you're in a relationship and you get with somebody, even if you might be successful, two people together is better than one. So, I mean, we could pull those type of messages out of, you know, this whole thing. And that's what we typically do. We always come to a resolution, and we do welcome everybody's like pushback. Cause, you know, one thing I do like coming over here to this channel is where like 84 might come up, Mr. Best might come up one time and be like, hey man, I give you guys pushback. I'm thinking about this. You know, if he got a good point, we're like, you know what, man, that is a good perspective. Same thing with Lola today. So I think, yeah, we do use entertainment to kind of get things out, but I think everybody that pulls up here is a little different, where it's just like, hey, well, we could spend the whole the live not focus on solely that. If somebody comes up with a good point, we'll let the conversation go with that versus like keeping it honed in on, like you're saying, the entertainment aspect of it. So yeah, exactly. That's what we try to do with that. We do use a little bit of entertainment, but it's like, hey, we'll take it wherever it needs to go, especially if somebody got some message. For example, what you're talking about is like, hey, that is a good point. So I think we could use some platforms to get the conversation started. What was that?
That's your mark of demarcation. It's what separates you from the others. So, you know what I mean? Jerry gets a feather in his cap for his final thoughts. Because those shows was crazy, but his final thoughts, it's like, oh, he's a reasonable man. He see what I see. But he don't focus on that. However, if you use a celebrity situation or a YouTube or internet social media talking point to open up a bigger conversation, man, then hell, I'll call you a leader of the community, a voice of the community.
But
you know what I'm saying? And then now it's not exploitation.
Wait, hold on,
But
Lola.
how many
Lola,
people,
hold on,
how many people
hold
remember
on.
George Simon thought?
Lola, hold on a second, Lola, hold on. Hold on, I got a question for Vic. Hold on, I got a question for everybody. Why y'all keep sneaking through the back door every time I leave? I got to. But no, Lola, go ahead. But yeah, I love the points that both of y'all made. But Lola, go ahead.
No, I was just asking. And maybe making a statement to Vic. Like, how many people, when you watch Jerry Springer, how many people remember anything that Jerry said as far as his final thought? Like, I don't remember nothing.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I couldn't. I remember the chairs getting thrown though.
Right.
I remember them chatting that ball-headed dude trying to break everything up. I don't remember that though.
She's talking about the dude. She's talking about Steve Wilkos. Dude that be breaking up stuff. Steve Wilkos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I remember. But I guess the point is with Jerry, he knew good and well what he was doing when he was up there showing all them people to the point where I was like, was these real people? Like this is too much. I don't see this in real life. But I mean, I get it. Like at the end of the day, we can use basically BS to make points and grow the community. But I guess we have to be strategic in that, because like with MTR, he feels like he's doing that. He feels like he's growing his community and helping men see better. But in reality, all he's doing is making men bitter. He's not helping them see women better and be better able to discern. No, he's literally just going in for the kill, and it's just creating soldiers for the fuckery too. Like it's having a backwards effect, and I'm seeing that in real time, like a whole backwards effect. So I mean, I respect the fact that he can talk about this girl Ebony, but all I know is where you put your focus is where you focus, and his focus needs more focus. Okay, I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
So why can't MTR just be a voice for the community, not be, since you can clearly see that he meets those criteria? Why he can't just be a voice for the community of men that he says his channel was for?
Because the community of men that he actually represents, if he really was like a community for if he was really a spokesperson for that community, he wouldn't make any money. For instance, hold on for a second. Look in my briefcase and grab that. He's not a spokesperson for that community, meaning this. Kevin Samuels, right, said that he was speaking to 5% of men on the planet. But his voice only resonated really with the other 95% that wanted to be him. But he wasn't speaking to them. That's not, his message wasn't to broke men that can't afford a certain lifestyle. He was saying literally, you have to be, to even qualify to listen to him, you had to have been making 6 figures for at least 6 years. Like, 5 years. It's like, I don't even know if he was making 6 figures for 5 years. But it's like, at the end of the day, right? But you see where the money was coming from. The money was coming from the dudes that wasn't top earners. So if MTR started talking to men that like him, that own property, that got investments, that's making a certain amount of money, and he's saying, listen, this is what you need to do to get this type of women I'm fucking with, right? His audience will go down real fast, because one, he's not talking to the average, let's say, dude in the ghetto. He's not talking to him. If anything, he can inspire that dude, but his message isn't to them. So again, he would be in the Kevin Samuels category. And again, his message would be, let's say, co-opted by people that don't necessarily represent it, but want to live vicariously through him. That's what that would be. So I'm just saying, I understand from a business standpoint why he's not an advocate for the community of black men that are doing certain things and moving a certain way. Yeah, because there's no money in it on YouTube. It's not.
But I disagree. I think. Are you saying there's no money in like spreading the message on YouTube, Lola?
No. I mean, like for instance, let's suppose his channel was only for men that own property and make a certain amount of money, and he would openly say every show, "Fuck niggas that make less than 300K." His audience would be a lot smaller. Let's just say that, a lot smaller. Okay. It just would be a lot smaller. Yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest with you. Like, every content creator, right? Well, I want to say most content creators, you have to be like a little creative, in order for you to captivate for your audience. And it starts off with certain headlines, certain ways of how you're using your words, right? And sometimes they could overdo it as far as putting out extreme headlines about a certain person that could be like a little bit incorrect. But if it's catching the audience attention, and it's unfortunate that most people, and I'm not saying MTR, but most content creators, they will put something out there just because like YouTube is literally like a business for them. So in order for them to make money, they're going to say certain things. They're going to act, I would say, more over to the extreme as opposed to being like their usual selves in order, right, to pretty much become that entertainment. It's kind of like you becoming like your own personalized clown for the audience that you're building. You know what I mean? So people are going to use certain talking points that they look at as this is what's going to pull into YouTube. Like the Ebony K. Williams and Stephen A. Smith, right? And I do have to finish that video, right? Before our time is up. We use certain topic points, certain headlines to captivate like the audience attention. And as you can see, I mean, the viewership is going up, you know what I mean? And of course, you know, it will go up a lot more, like, you know, as more women are participating and giving your opinions and camming up as well, too. And we'll keep stretching that, too, you know? But the thing is, hey, this is what the audience, they want. At the same time, you gotta be true to yourself of what you want as well. But that's just the way it is for like YouTube.
We do have. I got a steak on the grill. I don't want it to burn, right? So I got to cook this real quick. Now listen.
Listen, I'm not cammed up because I'm cooking right now. And
okay, Lola's literally cooking. I'm about to cook on this panel. Now listen. All right. So let me say this statement, right? Because I know Chocolate is in the building. I definitely want to get to her. Salute to Chocolate. Mm-hmm. I want to thank her for checking on me today too. Thank you, family. And everybody for checking on me. You know, this week has been hard, but thank all y'all. Much love. Me and my family appreciate it. So I want to say this, right? What's the biggest fast food brand in the world?
McDonald's.
Starbucks. Okay. I think Starbucks is really number one.
McDonald's.
Okay.
Fast food,
right?
Fast food, right? Oh,
yeah, fast food, right? McDonald's. McDonald's is the biggest one, right?
Okay.
So why is Chick-fil-A not making hamburgers?
Why Chick-fil-A is not making hamburgers?
Because they got their own line.
There you go. Bingo. You create your own lane. You don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Chick-fil-A ain't worry about no hamburger. You know what I mean? When I go to Chick-fil-A, I gotta wait to get up in there. Like I gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? And if I go on a weekday, I gotta catch them on a real off weekday, like a Wednesday. If I go anytime outside of a Wednesday, and I go anytime after 5 on any day, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? It is a dub. I'm sitting in that line. You know what I'm saying? Because they have found their lane and they're not worried about what McDonald's is doing. They're not worried about the whole Ronald McDonald thing, the whole Happy Meal thing. They ain't worried about none of that. They sell chicken and mac and cheese. You know what I mean? Them fries and them lemonade drinks, which I don't know what they put in them because they so good you want to have more than one. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's their lane. And I think in YouTube, you just got to find your lane. Find your lane. Find your audience. There's 8 billion people on this planet. You just got to do what works for you. You know what I'm saying? So I think however you want to flex and how you want to do it, you know what I mean? As long as you're creative and you're consistent, you can just do whatever you really want, honestly. You know what I'm saying? We see people out here making money off of YouTube, offer so many different things. You know what I mean? I know one person, all he does is talk about LeBron. And he's making money hand over foot. I know another dude, all he does is talk about wrestling, making money hand over foot. It's what you want to do. It's what lane you want to fit in. Okay, Marcus really wants some McDonald's. I got you, Marcus. But yeah, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's the point. You just got to find your lane, man. You ain't got to be provocative if you don't want to. I mean, if those things you want to do is cool, but you know what I mean? Just find your lane, do what you got to do, and your vibe will, and your vibe, your tribe will meet your vibe. But yeah, that's all I gotta say.
A fun fact about Chick-fil-A: Chick-fil-A's chicken has 50 different chemicals, harmful chemicals, by the way. So,
oh Lord have mercy.
But
don't do Chick-fil-A. Don't do Chick-fil-A.
No, man. I'm
That's the last hope.
Look, if you want me to pull the charts up, I will. You know, it's
don't you separate black people and they chicken now. That's the last good chicken source.
Chick-fil-A when I want to. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, 2 words, Lola. Andrew Tate.
Okay,
You try to get our friend Montage talk about him.
Hey, what?
That's what we do. That's what we do. We got to talk about people in their lane. Here's the thing. What was his lane behind closed doors? He was pimping girls, correct? That was
Oh,
his
come
lane?
on. Don't do you trying to do what MP tried to do to Chick-fil-A just now to Andrew Tate.
Hold on. That was his lane. So he went and got online and started doing what? Talking about what? Traditional women. You know why? Because you can't get online and talk about how to pimp young girls. You can't do that. There's no money in it. You only get locked up. What you got to do? You got to find the lane where most of the people are at. So that's what he did. And he tried to create his own lane within that.
He's not no pimp, though.
He tried to.
Yes, he is, sir.
Allegedly. Look,
he's a manager.
Hold on
No, allegedly, sir. He was convicted,
manager.
sir.
Let me pause y'all real quick. Please be advised that the opinions of our panelists and chat are not necessarily the viewpoints of knowledge and relationship. Everything that is said about Mr. Tate or whatever, right? You know, the top G is allegedly. Okay, look, YouTube. We all know you don't like him, so I'm not even going to refer to his name. I'm going to say top G allegedly. All right. And we gotta stay focused on the topic because we're still hold on, because we still got to finish this part. But we got
But you could I
I know. Hold on. All right.
They chopping at the bit.
I know. Hold on.
He found these manosphere Negroes and he fit into their aesthetic. And even though he couldn't make his own lane fit, he went where the money was at. And the money is in disgruntled niggas. That's where the money is at.
I know. I get that. Let me get to Chocolate Earth and I gotta play the video, okay? So that's why I gotta save all that stuff for Chronicles of Lola, right? So we go in, right? Anyways, the return of Chronicles of Lola is coming soon. I'll find a way. But Chocolate Earth, how you doing, sis?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, awesome. Who child, what a topic. Hey everybody, I want to say that first. And secondly, Lola, I had to come up here because I just heard everything you were saying and I just was just yelling at the phone, talking to myself. And I was like, let me just come up here real quick. Because I love that we even can touch on the topic. That's all I'm saying. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for having me. I'm gonna keep it brief because you got to show a video. Ooh wee.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay on the positive. I'm gonna stay on the positive side. The reason why, what I believe should happen is we should have an alliance. We should have a mob, and we should promote the channels that we want to see be successful. That's positive toward, instead of this traditionness and people like Andrew Tate and people like I ain't even gonna say his name, but those people who know as men what the insecurities are and then how to pinpoint you guys and hit those triggers to make you give up your wallet. It's still a money game. Let me say what needs to be said to make these men feel good enough to give me their money. I don't know if you guys ever have watched it, but I suggest you guys watch the documentary they did on Andrew Tate on Vice. Like, you should watch that. So anyway, go ahead. Gotcha. You got it.
All right, let's go ahead and get to the main video.
Junction with biology. They begin to freeze their eggs at these ages. In class, what do we refer to this all as? Hitting the wall. Let's proceed.
I don't think that most women, most Black women, desire doing this journey alone. I don't. It's very important. And I know that you mentioned yesterday the egg freezing, so let's talk about that. Yeah. Because I think that is marketed, not just you, Lauren. I think in general, that is in a lot of these comments, right? Well, girl, just freeze your eggs and don't worry about the rest. That's some bullshit, because I'm here to tell you because I'm living it, right? I froze eggs at 34. I never thought in a million years I would need to use them, right? Mm-hmm. Because why? I was in a loving, committed relationship. These were my spare. Mm-hmm. Do you know how many eggs on average a woman should have on ice, on reserve, frozen, for a probability of one live birth? No, I don't. About 20.
The part to that is knowing when. Like, for example, you gotta know, because as a man, what we value is when you know us and we don't have to tell you. You've been around us long enough. You figured us out. You didn't just spend moments enjoying us. You actually studied us, got to know us, have a mastering of us to some degree where we don't have to tell you. You know, you know when we want to go out. You know when we're not interested in going out. You know when we want to get down. You know when we don't want to. You have an idea of who he is without him having to tell you, because it tells him you paid attention to what works for him, which elevates his level of faith in you that you will ultimately figure things out and y'all will flow along more smoothly than not.
I love that. And I think that most women need to spend more time with that figuring out piece. And I would also declare, Brother Stephen A. Smith, that the chief complaint that I know I felt in my relationship, because this is the problem. I've never had a problem attracting men. I believe you believe that.
I believe that.
Okay.
Okay, this is the part.
What I find has happened historically is that men are very attracted, not just to the aesthetic, but also even to, we'll call it the resume, right? They like what it looks like, what it presents like.
Yeah.
And then they actually get to know me.
And they just stop, and they don't like what they... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's a damn shame, because the package in the resume can look one way, but then you get in spaces with these men and they want nothing to do with you. That's why Kevin Samuels blew up to the degree of what he did. And women would call him night after night because the results that they were receiving in person, even if they were attracting these men, they couldn't keep them. They couldn't retain them. And the majority of the reason why is because they don't understand men. They were taught in media to disrespect men, that men are stupid, that men are to be objectified, that men ain't shit, that men are dogs. And it bleeds out into the way that they treat men and wonder why they can't retain these men.
Pause that right there. Pause that right there.
I knew you was going. I knew you was going to have something to say. Go ahead, Lola.
Now, y'all are men on this panel, right? Chocolate, just let them speak, right? How many women own networks in America that we watch? How many women that make decisions on the networks that air these messages? How many women do you know they own a network?
I'm gonna tell you none, because
okay, hold on. Stay right there. Because see, I can hear the crickets. I see the crickets. Now here's the thing: you can complain as a man that these women are being taught to do this by social media, because obviously their mamas back in the 80s ain't teaching that. Social media is television, right? But then you gotta sit and be accountable and say, who put that message out there? Who allowed that message to meet that airway on purpose? Who got paid off of that? It wasn't too many women making those decisions. So at the end of the day, yes, you can say, well, Lifetime Television taught women to be passive aggressive like a motherfucker, right? But then when you look at who owns Lifetime Television and the network that they're on that allows these messages, because you know every message has to be pre-approved, you start wondering, why would a man want to sit and teach women to be passive aggressive? You know why? Because a lot of men are driven by what? It starts with a green, ends with money. And, you know, that's kind of what they're driven by. So if you want to change society, right? Because humans are impressionable creatures. You know what you got to do? You got to take accountability for it. And then you got to sit and start making niggas accountable regardless of how much money shit is. You got to sit and say, hey, this is going to fuck up a community. Don't do that. And you got to hope that these men that's in charge are going to give a shit about other men, because this is affecting other men, not other women, other men. Women are good. We good in society.
How you asked me that question, right? But only limit me to only a yes and a no response, because I knew where you was.
That's how y'all talk to me. That's how y'all talk to me. That's exactly how y'all talk to me.
Yeah. Can I give you my explanation there, right? Yes, I will give my explanation. So you have to understand, give account, right? And I hate to pull that race card, right? But see, Lola, right? It's the white man, okay? It's the white man that's controlling those networks, okay? And you know, the white men are the dividers, okay? They don't give a crap. Yes, they care about money, but if we were the type of people to own our own networks, right, then maybe the narrative would change, right? Because black men and women, we do unite together. Hold on, I'm still cooking, Lola, because I already know you had that coming. Or had somebody else coming too, though, right? I had that revolver, Quantum Love, right? I know you was hoping that she was gonna land, but you can forget that. All right.
No, I got you with the white man shit. I got you, but hold on. Let me ask you something, right? How many white men was in Africa when Africans decided to sell other, African men to them? How many white men was making those?
I'm not gonna count those Africans out because I'm not African. Okay, I am a Black American /American.
But wait a minute. Every decision that was made during that time, right, is affecting you right now. Every single decision. So when you say the white man, it's like before the white man decided to do anything oppressive, there was what making the decision? Who?
I'm talking about what's current. I'm not talking about past. You're going way into like the past where I had no birth or control.
The black man's plight is in current.
You can control now. Okay.
No, the black man's plight isn't current right now.
What's that again?
The black man's plight isn't current right now.
But that's only because we are to blame it, and we are in control of our own destiny, our own society.
You think you're in control of your own destiny? That's what you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right now, just as the white man is controlling like the media, and you have the option to either be a puppet and fall for it and be the one that.
Okay, let me show you how much you're not in control. Let me show you how much you're not in control. Right now, if China decided to say pay up on that loan or else not $1 in your pocket is going to be worth 10 cents, and you won't be able to buy a loaf of bread. If they decide to say we want our money today, you defaulted. That's it. It's China. Forget the Arab state. If China said that, now suddenly you can't even buy bread. Wait a minute, you can't buy bread. So when you say, no, you can't even buy bread. You can't buy bread. So when you sit there and say, well, I'm in control of my destiny, no, you're not. No, you're not.
First of all, throw your ass down. Okay. And don't you be berating my brother M3 on his own show. All right. Now, we are, in fact, in control of our own destiny. And the fact that, just like Kanye said, slavery was a choice. And everybody lost their fucking mind. But everything is a choice. You choose to submit. You choose to allow yourself to be policed. You choose to submit to a money system with cash. In America, you choose to stay in America. You choose not to get a passport and just go see what your options are. You choose not to research your doctors before you go attend any hospital visits or major surgeries. You do no research. You take whoever they give you. You do a bunch of shit by choice. So at the end of the day, you choose to go to a grocery store to eat instead of learning how to hunt. God gave us everything we need. Money ain't always been here, but community has always been necessary.
Whose land are we hunting though?
What?
You're saying we have a choice to go we choose to go to the market or versus hunting, right? Now, here's the thing. Civilization wouldn't be civilization without agriculture, which includes markets. However, if we're going to go back to hunter-gatherer, on what land can we go hunting? Like, on whose land can we go hunting freely?
It's a big-ass world.
I'm just saying, give me one place where you right now can go and start shooting animals and you ain't going to jail.
I got land.
Where is that?
People pay me to hunt on my land.
Right. So here's the thing. There's no place any given person can go to just start hunting and shooting animals without paying tribute first. So you don't really have no choice. If you got money. No. You said no. Listen. Everybody don't got capital to buy land. You already know the politics of that. What I'm saying is, if Joe Blow say, you know what, I want to go catch my own food, and they walk onto your land and start shooting off, that's probably going to end in them getting shot. Okay, if they don't pay you taxes first. So here's the thing: nobody has a choice. You're gonna pay taxes at Vic's house, or you're gonna pay taxes at Walgreens, or you're gonna pay taxes at Walmart. You're like, it don't matter where you pay your taxes, you're gonna pay your taxes. So ain't no you got a choice. It's just like me and my children. I gave them choices. No,
you ain't got no choice. You ain't got no choice if you work.
No, listen to what I'm saying. The idea of choice is an illusion. I told my children all the time, you always have a choice to do things, but the choices they always had was the choices I wanted them to choose from. That is the choices I gave them. Now they felt they had choices, but it's like, they had the choices I wanted them to have. And
They had choices, but they chose to submit to the system that you put in front of them.
No. You got to understand, when it comes from micro to macro, choice is illusion in a system that we have today. It just
your child can opt out of you being their parent. That's an option. That's a real thing.
Oh no, they can't. They can opt out of submitting to my law and then submit directly to the state of Maryland. That's what they can do. There is no in between.
Everybody answers to somebody always.
Correct. So there's no choice in the matter. You either submit or you submit. There's no choice in submit. You're going to submit. That's all you're going to do.
To say that somebody is oppressing you.
We got 5 minutes left on the video. Let me play the video real quick. I want you guys to hold that thought. But hold on, let me play it real quick.
Totally honest with you. They're fans. They respect it. They look up to it. Oftentimes it's something they find aspirational, but they don't really know how to engage in it on a daily basis.
But you know why that is, right?
Please tell me.
Because you're not a fool. Your level of intellect, your principled position.
That's it right there.
The combination of the two things. There's certain things dudes just ain't getting away with. And if you run across a woman that it is clear as day, you got no shot at getting away with the nonsense, you're like, damn. Path of easiest resistance. More men than not all men, but more men than not. Path of easiest resistance.
I can't believe what I'm seeing.
You simping. I understand the female audience to all of this shit. They're gonna give you a lot of your donations. But the more that we lie to these women, the less married that they will be. I will maintain this shit. It's not always the guy's being able to get up to her expectations.
Hold up.
It's this shit. Steven, stop the bullshit.
Wait for it.
You understood his message, but you get on public platforms and you're lying. It's okay though. Keep on lying because then I can go back later and I can tear it up. Keep your image, Stephen. Never. You know what?
We're gonna go back later and tear it up.
I understand what's happening about you. I got you. All right, let's keep going.
And I don't fault them. That's why what you don't hear me doing is being on these YouTube streets and Instagram streets complaining about it.
You're about to hear from her in a minute.
Because I choose that principal position, and this is the same ailment, if you will, Stephen A., that I suffer professionally.
Right.
You know, there's shows that I've been in the ring for that some people in this room didn't know.
That's right.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
That's right. That's true. Absolutely.
But because of that principle thing, my mom get mad about it. She's like, "Girl, you know how much money you leave on the table with them damn principles." But and she's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
And how many men might be on the table, so to speak. To your point, I believe you're 100% correct. But I just this is where my faith kicks in. Just to kind of wrap it on up. This is where I believe what God has for me is for me, and it will never miss me. I truly believe that. Not a job, not a show, and not a divine life partner. That man is out there. He will find me. I don't have to go looking for him, and he'll find me on God's time, not on my time.
All right.
Oh, no.
Manifest it. Let me read.
Listen. Oh, my God.
Around in a circle.
Don't blame God for your bullshit.
Just hope
What did he say? I'm sorry. Could you rewind? Could you rewind it again? The last part, and then you heard.
Hold on. All right. Let me go back a few more steps.
This is where my faith kicks in. Just to kind of wrap it on up. This is where I believe what God has for me is for me, and it will never miss me. I truly believe that. Not a job, not a show, and not a divine life partner. That man is out there. He will find me. I don't have to go looking for him, and he'll find me on God's time, not on my time.
All right, manifest it. Let me read Sierra's prayer 3 times, spin around in a circle, put it underneath my bed, and just hope that it happens. I think in the Bible it says that faith without works is dead. I believe that's in the Bible, or I'm not sure. Don't mean to be disrespectful.
I mean, good nitpick, but yeah.
Faith without works is absolutely dead. You said that you recognize behaviors or traits that you can change. The issue is that you don't want to change them. And now you're saying that you're just going to rest within God's divine timing. Because
if you take one step, he'll take two, Lord.
You know what to do. Change your shit. Get off your bullshit. All this shit about
Zodiac killer.
the bus driver. He's got to own the bus because of all the success. This is your ego. The ego of the modern woman today is insane. It's crazy. That's why so many men are going abroad because they're just tired of the
So go. Let me buy the tickets. What?
I took these tickets for these niggas so we can send them over there.
Girl, I'm about to get a boat. We about to get a boat. We about to get a boat.
It's almost over, ladies. It's almost over.
No, we done. I'm done.
They can't tell
I'm
me.
done.
Combined together, they've created multi-millions of dollars, and they look so.
I apologize, y'all. I just can't. What the?
Chocolate, can you not chocolate right now?
I didn't even say anything, sir. Don't do that now.
Oh, you're right. He just must be a fan of me. What? The ego of the modern woman today will leave you guys single, destitute, and alone. Emotionally destitute. Not financially, because apparently y'all are doing pretty good. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know reviews@gmail.com. Leave your comments down below and let's have a fruitful conversation.
Hold on, I want to
Until next time, YouTube. Peace.
Needed all that.
Lola.
Into the
Lola.
Chocolate, I don't see these Negroes. We gonna have to put some money up to send these niggas over.
Yeah,
I
believe it.
Women with the cameras out.
I believe it.
I
Let
don't
it
talk to
start.
women without cameras.
Oh
We
no,
gonna
excuse
have
me.
to do what the KKK did. We gotta do what the KKK
Well,
did
sir,
and put
I
our
don't
money
know.
I'm raising my standard.
Oh, well, that's good. The next woman that come up on camera, right on. Now, he done already told y'all ladies, he out here and want to see your camera. So, like I said, oh, Lord have mercy. Just one line.
I'll give you guys a moment.
I am almost in belief
I can take these glasses off now.
that men in this segment of men who are being so bamboozled and mistreated by women, and to yell, "We're going overseas," we don't care. See, this is where it kind of hurts, starts to sting. Poll enough women, gentlemen. Ask them. See who would desperately stop you from going overseas. That is not a threat. And the fact that you use it as a threat lets me know it is, and excuse me, gentlemen, bullshit. You still want our attention. If it was all about that, men of different colors have been doing this for centuries across the globe, and ain't nobody watching it, and they ain't on here talking about it. But the minute you got 5 dudes that finally caught on how to get a passport, jump up here, get a microphone, and go, well, listen, blah, 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 women ain't shit. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, and that's it. Where's the help? Where's the self-help? I wouldn't want my brother to see any of the things that the different male areas I go to in this space, just to listen. He grown. There's no solutions.
You don't think you can decipher the truth?
Why do I have to decide? You have a mouth, sir. All you have to say is just like anything else. You sit down, you go to a restaurant, you look at the menu, you say, oh, I want this, this, and this. Boom, the person come back, hey, what you want? This, this, this. Very, very simple. But the fact that you don't even know what you want, because it changes, right? Over time as you get older, depending on your relationships. I'm disgusted. Like, I don't find him funny. I find that he is talking to young boys, the same young men that are talked about in our spaces. They're listening to him. They're watching him. But
Can
y'all
I respond to that?
don't. But then the first thing is single mothers. Single mothers did it. Stop, please. Lord have mercy. I can't. I'm gonna get a barge. Listen, if you know any, just tell me where I can pick up a boat. We need to go and get this taken care of. I can't.
Hey,
Yeah,
I just want to respond real quick to what she said. It ain't gonna take long.
No, go ahead.
It's not a threat. It's a PSA. If I tell everybody to kiss my ass on my way out of my job, I'm not asking anybody to care. I'm just notifying you how I feel. Now, at the end of the day, it's not about trying to convince other men to do what you're doing or to make women here feel bad. It's men saying, hey, we're problem solvers. Hey, I solved the problem we're having, guys. Now, you go ahead and do it the hard way, but there's an easier path over here. And you can't blame anybody for doing that.
Are you?
Hold on. Why would you jump in there as if I was done? Hang on.
Go ahead.
The point there is that black women here are taking that with like a really big offense. Now I know there's other races of women that do, but we just talking about black people right now. I don't think that even is affecting our community like that, because most people ain't even got their passport in America, period. And I'm pretty sure the majority of them ain't niggas. So we ain't got to worry about the passport, bro. Them niggas was going anyway. And the second thing is that if you say you don't care, you're actually showing how much you care, because the women that don't care ain't talking about it. They not responding. They know that this ain't for them. Hit dogs is the one that holler.
Hold on. Let him finish, because I want to respond.
All right, now you go ahead.
I want to respond to what the end of what MTR said, and
go for it, love. Go. You got it.
Okay. So here's the thing with MTR, right? Again, we're having a man jump online to talk about what a specific woman in a specific tax bracket has to say about the men that she deals with, okay, based on who she is. You see what I'm saying? Now, nobody's perfect, right? But the majority of women are not making $1 million. The majority of women are not making 70K. But here's the thing: when a chick is in her tax bracket and talks the way she talks, she got the authority to do so. But somehow people are mad that she has that authority. Meanwhile, a chick that's making 24,000 can't say, "I want $1 millionaire." Because the next question is going to be, why $1 million? This light-skinned chick on the screen can say, I need $1 millionaire because that's my base salary and my bills is $1 million. She can say that, but the chick making 24 grand, no, she can't sit here and say, I need $1 millionaire. It's a whole different story. So the fact that MTR is out here acting like going in on this lady as if she represents most women, let alone black women. It's like, get your fucking mind right, sir. That's not our fucking problem. What she needs in a man is not what the fuck 99.98% of women want in men in our community. So stop it. Stop complaining. Some of this is why we got our passport. That's not why you got your the 1% of y'all that got your passport. Got your fucking passport. I'm sick and tired of people talking to me as if I am part of that demographic that you're talking about. And then you're lying on that demographic while lumping me in and saying, this is why we got our passports. No, you got your passports because you can afford it. Like I bought my sons a passport for $80. You can afford it and you have a preference. And if you can't meet one woman out of 3 billion women right here, you want to go try to get one somewhere else. It's simple math. But the thing that I don't understand is if you need, and this goes to Vic's point, if you're sitting here making whole videos to justify just sleeping with a different type of woman or going off to with a different type of woman, you haven't understood history. Like Chocolate said, white men have been doing this since forever. Literally, nobody does it better than white men when it comes to passports. Like before America was America, they were passporting. Okay, listen. I'm okay. Shout out to India. Y'all know what I'm really talking about. Okay, genetic drift. All right, like seriously, white men been passporting it up since forever. So the fact that white men would never come out their mouth and say this is why we're going to other women. They know good and damn well that there's always been a percentage of men that's going to sit and sleep, date, marry out, period. That's just what men do. You don't need an excuse to do that. You don't need to hate black women to go and sleep with another type of woman. Black women can be perfect and you are perfectly fine saying, you know what, I want another type of woman, even if black women are perfect. So why the hell do you want to do that? To the point of our frustration, Vic, we're not frustrated because men are saying they're getting their passport. We're frustrated because they're justifying them getting a passport based on how fucked up we are. And then that's leading to these other women thinking that they better than us because our men are talking reckless when in reality, when black men step outside of black women, they have a 200% failure rate with other races, especially when the race of the woman is white in any degree. I don't care what language she speaks. So it's like, here's the thing. I don't care if these niggas go out. They always come back. And the ones that don't come back is the ones we don't want. Like Chocolate said, like, listen, we're going to build a boat for you niggas and put all of y'all on that shit we're going to put our money where our mouth is at. And we're going to put y'all on
carpentry. Yes, I love carpentry. I'm not certified. I'm not certified yet, but I can build. Lola, I'm not playing. We need a sign up sheet. I mean, if you don't like us, then don't get the fuck on. But no, we make y'all money. Because then all of y'all can congregate.
I interrupted Chocolate before. I want to make sure she finished. Nobody interrupt Chocolate. Chocolate, I invoked your name and I said some inflammatory things about you, and you were patient and you waited to respond. So nobody interrupt Chocolate. Now, before you say it, I just want to say I acknowledge what you said, Lola. That might be true. Now go ahead, Chocolate.
You know what? I appreciate it. The kind words. Truth still be. These same men.
Don't let Vic fool you, okay? That's a sweet sound.
No. Honey, listen, I've been in male-dominated spaces the majority of my life in my career. It's okay. My skin is good, and I'm gonna keep it. Where I keep it 100.
So Lola and Chocolate. So
yes, sir.
Yeah, y'all saying like majority the issue y'all have is like it's like they almost got to take a swipe at like like you said, women when they want to go overseas and stuff.
Right.
Because that's what I give pushback on too. I'm like, why you even say something? If you want to go, just go, man.
Let's
like
go.
you have your right to do whatever you want, but why swipe somebody else? So I agree with y'all on that.
And that is where the frustration goes because we get told that that's not what it is. Oh, this is self-improvement. We're helping men. Helping men do what? Do what? Show me, please. I want to help too. Because I have a black man.
Both of y'all a question real quick, just based on
Eboni
K. Williams.
Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
So based on Eboni K. Williams, and she's like where she's at, you know, very successful. What would y'all say like her issue is with like retention? I guess like staying with a man. If y'all had to say so.
She is dating the top 1% of the top 1% of men that have their choice in women, and they don't choose her because as much money as she makes, as average looking as she is, she's not top grade when you get to that level of comfort when it comes to men that's making like I don't know like millions upon millions upon millions dollars and shit, and they got pulled in government and shit like that. They not looking at her like she top grade and shit. Like she's not. It's like, yo, you in a whole nother echelon of spheres here. So it's like, no, you're not top grade. So when you get with a dude that makes, I don't know, $4 million a year and he netting that, yeah, you might be an average chick that he might not choose. He might choose another chick over you because he can operate in that type of space like that. It's not because of your personality. You can have a great personality, but guess what? He has more options than what the average person even will ever have access to. So when she said, well, I just can't close the deal. Shorty, get your mind right. You're my age, okay? You're over 40, okay? You're not as small as you used to look. You don't look like how you used to look. You got just as much money as he do. So in reality, it's not about money. It's about whether or not he like you or not. And guess what? He probably like the chick that got a nicer body that know how to twerk a little bit better than you, and he can afford to do that. So at the end of the day, okay, Tyrone around the corner in Baltimore can't make those types of choices. He might need to settle down on the first bitch that will hold him down and shit. But not Brad. Brad up there in government he can afford to make choices the way he make them, but not Tyrone, and she can learn the difference.
Hey, you're not gonna sit here and talk about my sister Ebony K. Williams, the Black William and soul sister that she is. Okay, I won't allow it.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Wait, guys.
Call her queen, Vic.
She is kind of sexy. What you talking about?
Yeah, guys, hold on for a second. Pause for a quick second. All right, so look, we're almost like in 3 hours of this, right? Okay, I need you guys in the chat or somebody start donating. All right, I've been putting this up there for a minute. You see the shit that's scrolling now? Look, make sure y'all get the likes up. All right. And make sure y'all donate to the cause. I got Cash App, I got Venmo, PayPal, or you could do it like a super chat. All right. I want to see some dollar signs. Excuse me. I want to see some dollar signs up in this chat building right now. Okay. So make sure you guys don't forget to donate to the cause. Because we're serving up and we're cooking for you guys. So make sure y'all drop it in the collection plate. All right.
Now Lola was cooking on one.
Don't ask, no questions. Just get the money.
Yeah.
Now, get on around that side. Get around that side. Hey, so look, let me close this out, right? Lola, the fact is, you said it. A woman's money after a certain point becomes negated, because if she's using hypergamy or herself as a standard, now the men that meet that standard, like you say, it negates the power of her money, and now her ego is tied to her money as if that was a thing. So when you take away something that has been someone's strongest tool to that point, and now they have to rely on everything else, and they haven't necessarily matured in those other areas. Ebony K. Williams is beautiful until she starts talking, and she has a very masculine, not in attribute, but just like in sound, tone. She could work on maybe charm school or some shit that make her look. She's like a power suit Hillary Clinton ass bitch. So that is not a turn on for men. Like I would put her in a capable woman category. And a lot of these capable women who are highly intelligent, who have these very assertive personalities, they can't swing in and out of that. And they get stuck on stage, as Charleston White would say. And they can't come back.
May
her
I?
Money puts her
After
vicinity
you,
of the
Lola.
Gotcha. Her money puts her in the vicinity of these men that most average women won't be in the vicinity of. It does do that. I give her that. Her money puts her in the vicinity of a lot of, movers and shakers out here. You see what I'm saying? However, it doesn't negate the idea that hypergamy is about women moving up in social class based on the man's social class. So if she's trying to practice hypergamy, she needs to get her ducks in alignment when it comes to the definition of what she's calling herself practicing. So like she said, she only can be with the bus owner. Why? Because his status is what she's trying to ally herself with and to. So again, you can get to a point where you're around status-filled men, right? But that still doesn't negate you as a woman being attractive to him in whatever physical way or emotional way or whatever the case may be that you need to be. And I think she's missing that. But here's the problem. She is missing that. Most women I know, okay, ain't missing that point. Okay. And I'm talking about the average chick. They ain't missing that goddamn point. You put the average chick that I know in a room like where she in, they not gonna forget the fact that they need to be cute and their attitude and their voice need to match their dress and shit and them heels, and they need to, you know, move the way they talking and shit. These chicks out here, they doing it up and shit, but they don't have the access that she got. So this is what I'm saying. When MTR starts talking about women like her, dude, read the room, okay? Read the room. That's all I'm saying. Like, stop talking like that, because you really don't, you lumping black women into a certain demographic that they don't deserve. And meanwhile, white men are not sitting here talking about why they took their passports and went to Asian women because white women ain't shit. Like, that's not what the fuck we hear. But that's what we hear from black men. And it's like, at the end of the day, these white men, their women was supporting them when they was running the world and running them up. But then they left them too for Asian chicks, according to them. But they're not talking shit about their own women. And this is what I'm saying. We need to have the same code, which is if you want to fuck around in the snow, fuck around in the snow. But guess what? Don't trap that shit in the house. And you know what I'm talking about. So keep your mouth closed. Go fuck off where you fuck off. And if you good, you good. Stay over there. But don't come back home talking shit. Don't do that. We don't deserve that. A loud minority is not the reason why you need to talk down on the silent majority. But it's like, don't do that. Just because these dudes don't have no personality and they can't really pay for what they can't rap for, like, that's not my problem. That's really not my problem. So say a word straight and get that shit together. Go ahead, Chocolate.
Chocolate already left in the building, but we have to close out. We already hit the 3-minute mark, and I gotta get ready to go. But Lola, thank you for cooking. Victor Freeze,
yeah, shout out to y'all.
Yeah, definitely, man. Thank you guys for tuning into Knowledge and Relationships Reckless Reviews, and for all the people that donate. Shame on you guys. You guys gonna burn and go to hell within 24 hours unless you guys donate. But it's okay though. I might forgive you. But anyways,
next time I'll be responsible for your show. I'll sponsor your show.
I appreciate it, Lola, because I already know you got it. But anyways, thank you everybody for tuning in. And man, this was definitely a good reckless review. We'll put you guys in the back real quick for me and Sophisticated Jerk. But Sophisticated Jerk, man, damn, man, this was one hell of a topic, man. So I'm kind of glad we kind of covered up on this.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. Like I said, I love like just sometimes sitting back and listening to everybody's perspectives and stuff, because I think that what needs to happen. Because I like when Lola was pointing out certain things, man, I do agree with it. Yeah, because I forgot a couple weeks ago when we were having the one panel and stuff, and I was just like, we were talking to King Dreams, because he was giving us good game on like the economics of why people go overseas. But, that's why I always said, like, hey, man, we should be like taking swipes at people. It's just like, man, if you want to go somewhere, man, just go. But, you ain't got to like I said, call somebody out their name or put focus on the women and stuff. I would just go, like, me personally, if that was my thing, like, hey, this is my preference. This is what I'm going to do, and just go chill, because they got a good point where it's like, white dudes been doing this for a long time, and they just go about their business, man. So I think people do got to start doing it a little quietly, and not take a swipe at somebody else, man. So I'm definitely against that. But yeah, overall, man, interesting topic and stuff. And I like at the end how Lola broke it down as far as Eboni K. Williams, where I think her mindset is trying to keep her trapped into, where she's having issues with like trying to like get those guys to get on their side and stuff. So I do think like since she hit such a high tier of like money, very successful, she's thinking like, hey, they should be attracted to me because I make the money. But I mean, if you're making that type of money like she makes, like as a guy, you're not really looking for somebody from the money aspect, because you got that covered. You're making like $1 million a year. You're not pressed for somebody else to really bring in money into your situation and stuff. So dope point that she had.
Yeah. And shout out to Sugar Bum. She came in like very late, but who cares, right?
What's up, Sugar Bum?
But yeah, I mean, overall, man, I'll just say it like this. I mean, she worked hard for what she done, and she thinks that having that, standard or whatever is going to get her somewhere. But realistically, the high value men that you want are not looking for you. You're not a 10. Okay, if I was in their position, I will be heavily judging you. Okay, you will have to be the perfect model that I will have to encounter. You will have to look very good. You will have to smell very good. You will have to have the best personality. And I mean, hey, if you make it something, that's a plus. But honestly, I think what it really stems down to is that she has a bad attitude. And
personality. That's what really it is.
Like, yeah, the personality part is just to me like that's a fail. And what's another fail is that Stephen A. Smith, right? I feel like at that moment of time when she was like agreeing with him, unfortunately, like he's pretty much telling her all these lies and pump her head up. So it's like you had the opportunity to safely and calmly, help her to see the error of her decision making and help her to see that, well, maybe she should be able to, I want to say lower her standards, but maybe reconstruct her standards a little bit. That's more reasonable. That will make her more remarkable as a woman of her caliber. But instead, like, he just kind of fell into lies, and yet it's our fault. We're the ones that's not trying enough. And I feel like for that reason, Steve A. Smith, I got to give you a fail too. You simped on your friend. You played favorites. You didn't play for the right team. You know about Kevin Samuels and what he stands for, but then yet you are under the leash. So that's all I'm just going to say.
I wouldn't say he was simping, man. I think, when you're talking with women, you got to approach them a different way. So I think he was just trying to hit it from different angles and he didn't want to be too direct, so, yeah, but I did want to circle back to one point. You had a good point when you were talking about like, the personality. And I think she might just be overbearing because like, when you think about it, like I think men, when they get to a certain tier, even the ones that get money, man, if you look at most people's wives, they're not like 9s and 10s. Even guys that make the high amount of money. So I just think like with her, it probably is more the personality and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's her major issue.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go ahead and just wrap it up though. But yeah, we're gonna find like another video for you guys, man, and hopefully you guys found this to be entertaining. So I'm just gonna say this. Let me put the banner up there one last time. If you guys have not, from you guys watching us on Instagram or other platforms, and you have not tuned into Knowledge in Relationships, please just do us a quick favor. You don't have to look this time. You ain't gotta donate, but what I do ask is that can you please go to Knowledge in Relationships and subscribe to our channel. If you don't know how to do that, if you don't know what Knowledge in Relationships look like, let me just show you real quick, and then we'll be good to go. If you don't mind, Sophisticated Jerk.
Oh no, go ahead, man. Yeah,
okay.
Promote your stuff, man.
Yeah. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna just put the little plug in there real quick, so people will be able to recognize.
While you pulling that up, but shout out to Marcus, Prime, Quantum, and definitely everybody that pulled up today. Vic, Marcus again, and Lola, Mr. Best. Yeah, that was a great panel, man.
Yeah,
and Daisha. Oh yeah, Daisha too. Forgot about it.
Yeah, Daisha was definitely the first one, so definitely big shouts to her. Definitely want to give her like an air horn because we literally did woke her out from her sleep, man, and she definitely came through. Shouts to Great Pill, who just come up.
What's up, Great Pill? Hold on, I want to hear his take on this though. Give us a quick summary on what you thought about like Eboni K and all that.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I'm sorry. I don't know too much about the whole Eboni K situation. I like Lola's perspective on a lot of stuff. Okay. I like Lola's perspective on a lot of stuff that she was saying, especially with NPR. So that's what I came on NPR. What Emily was saying about the office value, because she made a comment. I don't agree with that one, when she's saying people on YouTube don't make money. It's kind of like that's a catch-22 because channels that she's been on, they actually make money. It's based on the niche, the platform, the like all the stuff. M3 always says a lot of stuff that adds up to the niche of what your channel is versus the hobby versus whatever you do for your brand. Because I mod for a lot of people that actually just make like bank, and their platform is purely entertainment. They stated plenty times before, versus people that actually have like positive role model channels, encouraging platforms, stuff that Lola was saying that NPR and other guys really don't speak too much about. But we also have to understand too, if you can get a message out there, it's for you. But if it's not, then you pretty much, like for example, I don't agree with a lot of stuff that FTR saying because I knew him from the very, very beginning because he was hardcore Red Pill, down to the introduction, the thumbnails, everything else. And then the fact that the word Red Pill became so toxic is even in the description as far as Google. Red Pill, black, the most toxic things out there if you just Google it, right? Plus everything else down if you just go down that road. But the fact it became that way, he never opened up his mouth about it no more. He just spoke the message, gave examples, and kept it moving like that, right? Like the rebranding, just like Kevin Samuels. So with that being said, when it comes to YouTube for getting the viewers in to get your message, it's like a little bit like church. You got to do a little song and dance, and you got to get a band, got to get a little jiggles and stuff. And once they get in, and then hit them with the message, like, oh, you're already here. You already paid for the super chats. You already clicked the like button. I got you. Now you're gonna sit here for a minute, and that's pretty much how it goes. I see a lot of content creators, 100K plus I mod for, say this a lot. Like, even if a one chat member out of 800 to 1,000, one might complain, it would like address them like, look, you want to see titty and ass, right? Okay, here's the thumbnail of titty and ass. You saw it. I got the message of 30 minutes of content for the message, and I got 20 minutes of little maybe the entertainment shit and giggles, but overall, this is entertainment, you know? Right. So what else? I can't think of anything else, but I would agree with what Sophisticated George said for the most part. Everybody needs to get in the habit of just being a little bit more listening versus like trying to break their necks to dive in for the conversation, dive in like, oh, me. I didn't speak. What's her name? Miss I swear to God, I apologize, I forgot her name. But the other young lady, she gave an example of that. But it just stuck between.
Are you talking about Chocolate Earth?
Yeah, it just stuck between like her and Lola. Like for example, Lola got a brain on her, right? Even though a lot of things I know I joke around probably come out of like big thing. But the problem is when you get on social media, you have to put a face on like quote unquote black people do when we walk out our doors. We know racism is real. We may not see it every day, but it's undertones, right? So it just stuck that people like Lola that actually have the brain, actually have knowledge, actually have the experiences in her qualification, actually show proof of it. But the fact that she will raise her voice, get a little bit loud, we might understand it because we got to know her. But if she's on other platforms, hell, I might even get her on the news. She's local in her area. She can be on the news. She has to carry herself a certain way to present the message out there. That's the point I think MC was saying too. You don't have to lie and be an ass or jerk, but the fact that you have to a certain way, just like you go for a job application, just like you go for an interview. You have to play the part just a little bit just to get to present yourself in a way that's going to be more welcoming and opening to you, so you can say what you need to say, present the product you need to sell, and then take it from there. So it just stuck. She and everybody. Well, I would say for the most part, Lola's baby stuff, but you choose that direction, you're not going to get people to listen to you going in those selective areas. And I'll leave it like that.
No, okay. That was a lot, but go ahead, Sophisticated Jerk.
No, I was going to say, he was cooking. I always like Gray Pill's perspective. So,
No, and I appreciate it. And everybody, please go follow like the Gray Pill podcast. Because
Gray Pill, you gonna start doing lives again, or have you been doing them lately?
Oh, it was my birth month on April. I apologize. I I'll be honest, man. I really didn't think people was paying attention or really not saying interested like I thought. I was getting like an email or two or a DM or a Discord message like, "Hey, we haven't seen you," or this, that, third. I'm like, okay, cool. So I have to like just make an announcement. Me, my two main guests, Classic Ruby, West, they already got a heads up month before. So we just have to talk about it and pick out a date. But anything else with all this other extra stuff content going out, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that and then reach out to the game, so to speak, and then see where we come with it as far as the group conversations like y'all do.
Yeah.
Tuesday. Today is still Tuesday, every set. Anything else random is gonna just be me, solo dolo like always. But moving forward, I never said this to anybody else. I'm gonna fall back a little bit because it's been so much drama with YouTube, and mentally I don't like to get stuck too much in that because I'm still about the conversation, and it's very hard to kind of find a real because me and a lot of old content creators, I think me and 84 and 3 probably had this conversation about this. For you to get the numbers like you really want, like super numbers, you got to either go super left or super right, or you can go in the middle. Shout out to the gray pill for the gray area. You can go in the middle, but people still feel attacked. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's so much energy just to say. And I use Priscilla for example, right? We did a reaction of just her talking point, but before that, very professionally, I've done it with Lola as a guest. I've done it with M3. Anybody, Marcus is another one. Who's one of my top mods. Next to Lady Navoa. Every time I reach out to people, like, hey, for an invite, very professional. This is how it goes. We regulate people before you come on. If you're a bigger content creator or a regular content creator, you have the thumbnails, everything shown to you prior before. By the time you come on, you already know. I've done this with Priscilla. I've done this with her things. I've done this with other people. But some people just feel
Priscilla, the Queen Maker?
Yeah, I've done this a month ahead of time. Cause I think Lola kind of knew about it because she actually told her this on Lock Channel before. Just to, I guess, reassure her. I really care less if she reassured or not. I already knew how her personality was because I knew her. But just professional-wise, I just took it that way. So if stuff comes, you never do. But for some reason, a lot of people feel attacked when you ask just a basic question or here's what it is. Because you're a content creator, I'm a content creator. This is my perspective. If you ever watch anything on my end, Sophisticated Jerk, if it's me personally, like, Pro thing, I made it known. The main three, I don't like the red pill community. I don't like the toxicity of like narcissist traits. I've been focused on that for like for a year. If it's something like that I'm on, that's a black and white issue for me. But if it's something like a group conversation, I can care less, bro. You voice your opinion, I voice mine. Let the viewers, the people in the black plate, check it out. They'll add something into it. There's a reason for us to beat each other down with a dead horse about something. I get it if we're YouTube cool, but respectfully, we don't know each other. We're not quote unquote friends. We're not paying each other bills. We don't live in the same town. So it's best like we still always keep it respectful, always keep it professional. You would never, and I put it on everything I love, you would never catch me out there like, well, gray pill's an asshole, gray pill's a dick, gray pill's this. Never. I might be petty. I would never deny that. I may be having sarcasm. I will definitely do that. If it's a panel for chill, I'm for chill. If it's a panel for like I come out and I have to use Lola for example, she's like perfect example. And if I see her acting up, I come on just joke around with her and I'll dip off the chat and I go about my business, right? Sometimes me and 84 have that little low key thing too. We got an inside joke with ourselves, right? Same thing with me and Market. So it's just that, but it's always gonna be respect for the most part. So and that's pretty much it. But I have to echo y'all guys because again, you're the only guys next to 3 that always keep the foundation that y'all have. 84, all the team knowledge relationship, and 3. Y'all guys are the only one that do what you need to do for the conversation and the message. So I appreciate y'all guys.
No problem, Great Pill. We appreciate you guys too. Actually, Great Pill, if you have time, do you mind if you stick around in the back chat? I just got actually like a quick question.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, no problem. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wrap it up. And again, everybody, I already highlighted that, so you guys have plenty of time to pretty much subscribe to Knowledge and Relationships, and make sure you guys subscribe to all the other platforms as well too. Like
I like that M3. Get that branding out.
Oh yeah, man. You know, while Great Pill was talking, I was like, hey man, I'm just gonna leave this up there. So anybody who's watching from other networks, all it takes, man, is like just type in knowledge and relationships. We exist, and just subscribe to our channel because sometimes we do things exclusively as well too, like on the brand. So again, man, thank you everybody for tuning in, and make sure you guys support Sophisticated Jerks channel, Man at Sophistication. When they have reviews, they talk shit, they talk about movies and other good stuff as well too. So make sure you subscribe to his channel, subscribe to the Great Pill podcast channel, because he do keep things on a professional standpoint and he's pretty fair. So, you know, these are amazing content creators that we definitely rock with. Okay.
Hey, can I say one thing about Great Pill's channel? Because man, real professional guy, man. Like he broke down. Man, like I said, I love the dialogue. I think Great Pill on some real stuff, man. I think you're one of the best in the game, man. So yeah, you know, I used to just faithfully tune in and catch your shows, man. And like you said, I like the way how you handle your dynamics. Like you said, you just let people have their perspectives, and that's rare nowadays. I think a lot of times people just they want that like echo chamber and stuff. And nah, you got a skill set where you let everybody talk. You know how to like ask the questions to get like people to elaborate on their perspective. So nah, you do a great job, man. You definitely need it in this space.
And the good part is that he does his research as well too, man.
Oh yeah. Nah. My man, like a journalist out there.
Right. Just yeah, too bad like he doesn't commit to the gaming part. But anyways, I digress. But we'll go ahead and close out, everybody. So thank you so much for tuning in, y'all. And yeah, we're definitely gonna be oops, my bad. So yeah, I'm gonna put you in the back, Great Pill. So definitely tune in next time. And you never know what we might talk about. It might be something that might hurt your feelings, or it might be something that you might pretty much laugh about. But anyways, man, thank you everybody for tuning in again. We are out. Peace.
All right, peace.